Hi guys, happy Sunday. I hope you're doing good. Check out that awesome music in the background. I'm going to be casting with some music for the first time. I've tried by accident before casting with music, and YouTube's pretty quick to shut stuff down for copyright. So I've been building up my library slowly but surely of non-copyright music. Uh, and I'm gonna try and work that into some of my replays. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get into the community cast. I have a bunch here from Tanker, which is great because he's a fantastic player and I always enjoy watching his games. But in addition, I have some from Spiffy and Sixpath, and since I have fewer from Sixpath and Spiffy, I'm going to put them at the front of the queue, and then I'll do Tanker at the end. So let's start with Spiffy. Oh, sorry, Sixpath. So we have a game with Lokir Felheart. We've got Sorceress of Death. We've got some Dreadspheres. Pretty mobile core. Cold One Dread Knights. Ebon Claw going to back them up. And then a pretty shooty, chaffy sort of Vampire Coast list. Let's see how that goes. Please do, if you are listening to this, let me know how you find the music. Is it too loud and obnoxious? Do you want me to turn it down? I feel like it's like a touch too loud, even though I have it on like about 3. So I'm actually gonna adjust it in my sound mixer here. If you could just be a little patient with me. I am trying to troubleshoot this a little bit. You know what? I'll deal with that after. Let's just keep it here for now. All right. So what do we have? Okay, so pretty wide formation from the Vampire Coast. I mean, I think they could spread out a lot more. There's a bunch of handgun units, kind of all tight. Maybe they missed a deployment. Maybe they're just backing up now. Let's see. If you're just joining, welcome. I hope you're having a great Sunday afternoon. So deck gunners are kind of awkwardly placed on the flanks here. I'm not sure if this Vampire Coast player is new, or maybe they're just trying to get set up here and they were late to the party. Anyway, we got Knights of the Ebon Claw. Kind of, it looks like they're going to the flank. Usually I consider the Knights of the Ebon Claw a backline unit because they are so expensive. Well, I think they're like 1600 gold, something like that. So let's see how Sixpath uses them. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here, just on the front engagements. So we've got 3 units of Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows. They're trying to push up. And they're being counter shot by some deck gunners, but looks like they're going to be able to get in range here, and it could be just a numbers game at this range. I mean, you've got 45, that's 90 unit models shooting in at the deck gunners. Deck gunners only have 24 unit models. This unit of Dark Rider Repeater Crossbow has backed off. They have Shield Breaker on them, which reduces missile parry, which is irrelevant because they don't have a shield. But yeah, the Dark Rider's Repeater Crossbow is doing a lot of work against the deck gunner, so definitely need to push out that screen if you're the Vampire Coast player. Over here, these deck gunners, looks like they're thinking about the Dark Riders over here. They're going to get in some shots and probably erase them unless the Dark Riders are able to pull out a range or get in a quick charge. These Dark Riders do not have shields, so they're going to take all of those shots basically. Granted, with the Shield Breaker effect, I mean, even if they did have shields, it probably wouldn't matter. But yeah, Lokir Felheart's going to get in here, not be too greedy. He's going to stay kind of on the front line, break stuff up, get those heals in. I'm assuming he has the healing item. He does. He has that helm right here, Helm of the Kraken. Replenishes hit points, so that allows him to soak a little bit of missile damage while he's fighting in here. But there is a lot of missile damage here. I mean, 2 units of zombie, gunnery mob, with handguns. And these Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbows, I mean, they can outsnipe deck gunners in numbers. They're not going to be able to outsnipe zombie gunnery mob if the gunnery mob turns and just fires at them. This unit of Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows has been able to pull a polearm out of position, which has actually left a gap here for the Dark Riders. We're going to go in here and do some dirty on the Vampire Coast. Nice charge getting in here from Sixpath. Going to break this unit of hand cannons gunnery mob. And they're going to start crumbling right away. Some emergency maneuvers here. Deckhand Mob going to try and come over here and plug the gap, but it's looking pretty tight. Over here, the Deathcaster looks like it's going to drop a fat Purple Sun. That's a spell I don't usually bring, and this is why, because it just went the wrong way. But, oh, it's veering back now. Now it's doing some work. Yeah, it did some work. I mean, that was pretty much a perfect scenario to cast it. It might have crumbled one unit worth 300 gold. No, that's handguns. Those are 600 gold. It's probably worth it in that case. This other unit's going to get mucked up. Felhart's just doing whatever he wants in the back line. The Knights of the Ebon Claw are going to charge into pole arms, which is not really where they would ideally be placed, but this unit was already crumbling. Other combat stats of the Dread Knights are so good that they can kind of just outfight them anyways, honestly. Felhart has taken a lot of damage here, so 6th Path is going to have to be careful with Felhart, but things are looking pretty good overall for 6th Path. Hydra's at full health, and I don't really see where the individual entities are that are going to kind of control stuff like the Hydra or Lokia, right? I mean, there's a lot of shooting for sure, but there's not really any mass. There's no animated Hulks. There's no rotting Prometheans. So really, the Cav and the Dragons are able to go pretty much where they want. Ooh, this breath probably killed a couple Knights of Ebon Claw because they were kind of kiting. But yeah, I think this is pretty much a wrap, man. Yeah, that's a rage quit, I believe, from Domi Vani. Maybe not a rage quit. Maybe a polite exodus. So yeah, good job for 6th Path on that win. Let's check out a couple games from Spiffy, and then we'll get into the tanker action. So we have Albrecht de Bordelot, the guy who likes it on the edge of the sea. I think bord de l'eau in French it almost means like edge of the water. Bord means like edge. De and l'eau. L'eau is water. Well, O is water, but L apostrophe EAU is the water. So edge of the water. Anyway. All right, Mortis Engine in the back. Klav Nagash, right king. I like it. From the Vampire Counts, you got Heinrich Kemmler for some anti-large. It's a good kit. Old school Vamp build. Corpse Cart with the Unholy Lodestone in the back. Nice stuff. Black Knights, Blood Knights, good. So Blood Knights have a screen with the Black Knights. Black Knights are able to kind of take a charge. They have decent melee defense for a Cav unit, 31 melee defense. Blood Knights also have pretty good melee defense, but I mean, if you can take the hit with the Black Knights and then counter charge with the Blood Knights, you're gonna get a lot more bang for your buck. So that's nice stuff there. We'll see how that goes. There's a unit of Dire Wolves off on the flank, and Knights of the Realm over here, and Knights of the Lionheart over here. So how much magic damage did Spiffy bring? Knights of the Lionheart do have magic damage. They can do very well against things like the Claw of Nagash, which is ethereal, of course. The Pegasus Knights, these are the royal versions, which do have magic damage as well. So a little bit risky to bring ethereal units against Bretonnia, and Spiffy's sort of showing why, at least early on in his army select. We've got Grail Guardians, so that's 4 units with magic damage so far that I've counted. Any Battle Pilgrims with magic damage? No, it's not the ROR. But yeah, and then there's good old fire damage for anything that regens. I guess fire would do extra damage to something like a Mortis Engine because it does have regen. So yeah, lots of fire damage, lots of magic damage. So special units, I think Bretonnia has kind of gone in a little bit heavier on that. But the front line, you have to imagine it's probably going to go to the Vampire Counts. But this is just a classic matchup here. You got zombies going toe-to-toe with peasants to prove who is not the most worthless unit in the game. So far, it looks like the zombies have the upper hand, but not all is lost. These units of Peasant Mob are doing okay. It's a fight to the finish over there. So I think this unit has just been revealed. The Pegasus Knights doing a little bit of scouting. Maybe by chance they revealed the Black Knights and Blood Knights, but looking like Spiffy is trying to take care of the mobility first, getting the Dire Wolves out of the picture. Shots from the Fire Archers continue to pour into the Claw of Nagash. Claw of Nagash is not really being used for much of anything right now, so it has to make a decision. Either it pulls back out of there and just hangs on until maybe some of the ammo is down, or it's got to touch and go on that front line and just terror out some of those Bretonnian peasants, but not stick there for too long. So the Dire Wolves, since they were dying anyways, I guess they're going to make one last desperate push into the Archer line, and it looks like they're going to get there. They should be able to muck up these Archers for a little bit, Get a nice charge, take out a few unit models. There's a few less bows for the Bretonnians, but yeah. He does have the ROR unit. I didn't see them. So Holy Wardens of Mazental are a fantastic choice if you're going up against an undead. They do have, of course, magic damage as well as fire damage, and they could cause some problems for the vampire counts. In general, I do think the humans match up pretty well against the vampires, whether counts or coast, because they have things like, you know, if you're the Empire, you have the Luminarch, you've got Flagellants, which are unbreakable, you've got tons of magic damage, fire damage, and the same is true for Bretonnia. But anyway, so Alberich, I guess he's trying to decide where he wants to attack. Probably he realizes that there's some stuff in reserve, so just being patient right now. Looks like the Right Kings are going to engage here. They're going to try and get in on the Grail Relique. I think this other one could come in and help out, and he will. But Peasants, I mean, they held the line for a pretty long time against the zombies. In some cases, they actually won, which was a little surprising. But the Battle Pilgrims are in reserve, and they'll be able to clean up zombies for days. So no stress yet for Bretonnia. The big fight's going to come down here between the Knights. You know, once these Peg Knights commit, how's it going to go? If he does dive the Claw of Nagash right off the bat, that's going to prompt an immediate response from 4 cavalry units. So it's a bit of a bait, I think, for the vampire counts. So I think Spiffy's got to be a little bit careful here about how he uses those Peg Knights. Let's see how he applies them. So he's going to go after the Cav first, I think, which is the right choice. But this other unit is going to get revealed now. And over here, I think the Grail Relique did drop, so it's going to be a little tougher to stay there and fight. We'll see. Oh, a side charge coming in here from the Black Knights. Counter charge from the Knights of the Lionhearted, but another charge from Black Knights. And here come the Blood Knights. This is going to be a pretty painful situation for these Knights over here. They did get pretty much full surrounded. No support magic, really. There's the Trident from Alberich. But it's not going to do a ton of damage. Ooh, I was wrong. Holy crap, that did so much damage. To a unit of Blood Knights, it took them down to like 25% HP. That was absolutely insane. I did not realize it would do so well against armor, but yeah, it does say good against armor, so wow, I will not hesitate to use that against Cav in the future, because that erased this unit of Blood Knights. Some heals are probably going to go down here from Kemmler. And he's going to go in here and try to support his boys, but this unit is already crumbling. That Trident just single-handedly wrecked this unit, and a rear charge, even though all the Pig Knights pretty much finished the job. But Alberich's in here tough now. He's fighting against Krell, going to take a lot of damage, and he's on the Pegasus mount, which means he's going to have a hard time getting out of there. So it wouldn't surprise me if Alberich actually dies in this case, but the Peg Knights might be able to escape. So you kind of traded Alberich for a unit of Blood Knights. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth it. Balance bar slightly in favor of Bretonnia. How's it looking in the backside? Skelly Spearman pushing the archers. A charge from the Grail Guardians going to get over here and just free up the archers. But those Grail Guardians are kind of needed in this fight over here. It's kind of a tough decision. I don't really know what's the right choice here, but these Peg Knights definitely, in my opinion, need to get out of here and look for another charge. And yeah, he's going to try and break out of there. Luckily for Spiffy, Alberich is going to flee to safety. He's going to make it out of this blob. And he'll probably rally, which is good news for Spiffy, because there's nothing that's really chasing him off. I don't think he has heals. I don't see a life caster anywhere here. I could be wrong. But anyway, as long as the Lord is on the field, it's going to help with the leadership situation. So we've got a big scrap here. Blood Knights going up against Royal Peg Knights with the support of Black Knights. 2 units of Peg Knights versus the Black Knights and the Blood Knights. Blood Knights getting heals. I mean, it is an expensive unit. If you're going to drop a heal, might as well be on the Blood Knights. And this old Death Ball pocket is pretty strong in here. Spiffy could be a little bit more patient maybe and wait for the Krell summon to drop. But it does seem like Krell has lasted for a little while here. He's going to start banging on some Grail Guardians, getting some pretty nice value. Well, here comes the second Trident of Math-1. I forget if he gets 3 of those casts or 2, but pretty good damage. Erased half a unit of Sternsman. Definitely erased a unit of Skelly Spears and most of a unit of zombies, but Bounce Bar very much in favor of Vampire counts at this point. I mean, Spiffy is definitely on the ropes, but he's not out. He's still got the Bretonnian archers, and they've got pretty much 2 Well, they pretty much have half their ammo left. So it'll be interesting to see what he chooses to shoot at. I think he is going to shoot at the Claw of Nagash. That'll probably cause the Claw to fall back, but I don't think this is going to go Spiffy's way at this point. I've been wrong before. We'll see. I mean, if he can get these Blood Knights down, maybe he can tag the Claw of Nagash. Looks like Krell has dropped, so now there's just the two right kings. These Bretonnian archers not taking any pressure though, so they are going to be able to unload a full clip. Are they shooting the Sternsven right now? I can't really tell what they're shooting at, to be honest. I think they're trying to shoot this corpse cart, but because the Sternsmen are standing right next to them, they're also getting hit by fire arrows, and the Sternsmen are a unit with regen. So that regen is doing some pretty good work. The fire damage is doing some pretty good work on them. Blood Knights did break free and get into the Peasant Bowmen, but because they didn't charge into the large, they're going to take a full rear charge from 2 units of Peg Knights and Albric, and the Bretonnians will be okay. So that's a win for Spiffy for sure. But still, desperate times for Spiffy. Holy Wardens are doing pretty well here, going up against the Sternsmen. I mean, I think they've made the Bretonnians proud. They're up at 250 kills. I mean, absolutely a must-take choice against the Vampire Counts. But now it's up to the special units to kind of try and carry this game. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. We're going to see what Spiffy's got left in him. He's going to dive, take out some spears, but yeah, they're going to break, and that's all she wrote for Spiffy. So nice try. I like to see the old school Vamp build get some play. Kemmler's made, I think, a little bit of a comeback these last few days, or last few weeks, I guess, in terms of competitive play, at least from what I've seen. Krell's a decent option, and Kemmler's kind of hard to get rid of. Alright, we got another one here. Spiffy going up against the Dwarves. So this is a matchup that Spiffy said he's struggled with. Dwarves are pretty resolute. They have a lot of really good tools to deal with Bretonnia. They have shooting. They have slayers. They have cannons. So it really goes against a lot of the strengths of the Bretonnian army, at least the staple units, like, you know, cavalry, for example. So, you know, if you're going to go up against Dwarves, maybe rethink things. So this is actually a suggestion I have for Spiffy. Maybe spread out, maybe bring the regular field traps, spread them out, force the Dwarves to make a decision. Which way are they going to go? Are they going to go push for this trebuchet? Are they going to push for this trebuchet? Are they going to push for this trebuchet? Because if you can spread them out a little bit, that's where you're going to be able to use your mobility and maybe get some opportunities. But if they're all tight like this, it's very hard to kind of get in there. You have to give them a reason to move a little bit sometimes. They are a little bit lazy and stubborn, and they don't really like moving. So if you are going to go like Trebs against something like a cannon, I mean, Trebs are much more inaccurate than a cannon. A cannon should be able to win in a straight up duel. You probably want to drop your field trap if it is being shot by the cannon, or just move it back so the cannon has to chase you. And where you want to use your Treb rocks is really just to try and whittle down their front line. I mean, if you can get in rocks on the Ironbreakers, that's pretty good value. Ironbreakers are about 1,200 gold, and if you can get them off the field, I mean, you're definitely trading upwards. A field Treb is about 700, so 700 to 1,200 is an upwards trade. Slayers are going to rush in here. I mean, they got no front line really to speak of. Ironbreakers could be considered a front line, but they're a bit specialist. And look at these Slayers. I mean, they just stopped for some reason. So they're just taking shots to the face from the Bretonnian archers, who are like, yeah, thanks. The Gyro Bomber is trying to be cheeky and maybe shut down a Treb. It looks like it did some damage here. I'm not really sure. Did the Treb, like, it was wavering, but it didn't break. But yeah, Albric's securing the skies, and he's telling the Gyro Bomber no. Actually, the cannon's taking some damage here. The other field Treb has been shooting at it, just kind of chipping it down. More shots coming into this field Treb, but you know, it does take some pressure off. I mean, the cannon, even if he does win against the Trebs, I mean, it's not shooting cavalry, and Trebs are cheaper than cavalry, so we'll see. And it's using ammunition as well. It has a quest the Knights in the back, saving them for late game, which I think is the right choice. I mean, he could possibly use them to dive some Iron Drakes, but I'm okay with this. I like this. He's falling back here. falling back mid. And you see how he's starting to pull the dwarves apart a little bit? Like, if he just fans out his army and the dwarves chase, they're gonna start showing some gaps here. And if he has gaps, Questing Knights can go in here, especially if the Slayers start to drop. It looks like Slayers are in here fighting Peasant Mob, which is definitely not the optimal target for them. So Spiffy doing some pretty good work in here against the Slayers. The Damsel of Heavens is here in the back. She's got Curse of the Midnight Winds and Harmonic Convergence, both great choices against Dwarf. We'll see. I mean, I think she's probably saving her Winds of Magic till the late game when probably the Questing Knights get involved. And there it is, Harmonic Convergence on the Questing Knights, going right into the Slayers. I like it. It's brave. I mean, Questing Knights with Harmonic Convergence, 64 melee attack, 60 melee defense. They should be able to kill the Slayers with those kind of stats. So normally I wouldn't think to charge into Slayers, but Spiffy plays a lot of Bretonnia, and I think he knows when he can kind of get away with it. He did take damage on his Questing Knights. That was not free at all, but with the charge, ooh. Yeah, he took a lot of damage. Yeah, maybe it wasn't worth it after all. Use some wins. I mean, maybe he could have used the Questing Knights to go after the Iron Drakes, but of course, if he did that, the Slayers would have come after him. I don't know. Maybe not the worst. He lost half a unit of Questing Knights there. Granted, yeah, I don't know. Was the cannon shooting at him? What's the cannon shooting at? I don't know. But he's got opportunities now. Slayers are starting to drop, which means now he can go into the Iron Drakes without worry about getting rear charged by Slayers. Longbeards are going to try and shut down Albrecht, but Albrecht can just kind of peel out of there whenever he wants. So I like that from Spiffy, just keeping the Longbeards busy while the Questing Knights do the Iron Drakes dirty. Another charge is going to go into the rear of these Iron Breakers who are not braced. So yeah, it's AP damage. Ooh. It's chunking them. Took out about 15% of their HP. I don't know. We'll watch the Damsel, see if she's starting to buff any other things. We do have another Lance formation going in here on these Iron Breakers. Are the Iron Breakers braced? Yes, they are. So not going to do a whole lot there. And Iron Breakers are supposedly winning decisively. But a rear charge from this unit of Questing Knights might change that in a hurry. Bounce Bar dead even. This is a crazy fight, man. The Dwarves are playing a pretty good game too. I mean, credit to them. They're not. I mean, I think the Slayers could have been used better. But yeah, this unit of Iron Drakes over here, Curse of the Midnight Winds, dropping their armor, so the Peasant Bowmen are doing a little bit more work. Look at this Treb shooting right into the Longbeards, who have balled up around. Oh, that's Lewin. I thought it was Albrecht. Yeah, I like Lewin against Dwarves because he has all that missile resist, and he's got defensive stats if he drops the stand your ground, so it can get a little bit hard for Dwarves to do the work. Questing Knights getting in on the cannon, going to shut that down, which should mean that if there's a Treb crew left, and there is, they should be able to reman their cats, and they're going to do that now. These Questing Knights did a lot of work to the Iron Breakers, but they're going to want to fall back here because Ungrim's nearby, and he's kind of annoyed that the Questing Knights did what they did to his Iron Breakers. These guys could possibly split up, but I guess they're going to go after the Quarrelers for now. I would like to keep the pressure on. I would like to see them keep the pressure on the cannon. Lewin's going to go in and tag the Gyro Bomber and probably take it out of commission now. I like that. Does he have Foe Seeker? No, but he has the Lion Shield, which is protecting him a little bit from the Quarrelers, who would normally, you know, if it was Albrecht, he would take a lot more damage, but Bretonnians are shooting the Longbeards. Pretty nice. There's only 2 Slayers left here, so that's pretty irrelevant. Cannon is shooting in on these Questing Knights. It is going to do a lot of damage. I think you need to spread those Questing Knights out if you can, so that. Oh well, he's not actually pointing the guns at them. He's shooting Bretonnian archers. A little distracted there, so slight misplay by the Dwarfs. Lewin is just eating all kinds of damage here, but he can heal up, and that's what he's going to do. He's got a -8 leadership effect on him because of the burnt, but he's pretty courageous. And there it is. The cannon's finally going to go down. Charge from Iron Breakers, but counter charge from the Bretonnians. Got Peasant Bowman over here. They're going to try and chip in a bit more damage on those Iron Drakes. Field Trap back online. Field Trap back online. So see how the Dwarves, they're having a really hard time here because there's one Treb over here White Treb on the other side, and now they got to make decisions. I mean, do they push everything to this Treb, or do they split their forces? And yeah, I mean, it's not an easy decision if you're Dwarf. I think the correct answer is you have to kill one Treb at a time. Probably go like from here and then like work your way down the line. But it's not an obvious decision. I don't know. But Lewin is pretty healthy now, and late game with the Slayers off the field, the Questing Knights should be able to shut down a lot of really valuable units. They're going to get a nice charge here on the Iron Drakes. Take out like half of this unit of Iron Drakes. As long as Lewin keeps moving, and you know the priority is just taking... Oh, I like this. The peasants going into the Slayers. I mean, he forgot about the Slayers. I know there's only 2 of them, but still. But yeah, if he takes all the infantry off the field, he can save Ungrim till last and give him a little special Bretonnian gift from the lady. But yeah, things are looking pretty good for Spiffy now. We got one more charge here from the Valiant Knights. Lewin gonna go to work over here. I like it. I'm gonna fast forward a bit here because I got a bunch more replays to go to. I think Spiffy's got this one though. It's just gonna be Ungrim at the end, and then it'll be like a full surround on Ungrim. Lewin's probably still healing too, and he can cycle charge and all that jazz. Oh, he's going right into Ungrim. A little early maybe. A little early, took a lot of damage. But yeah, now that Ungrim's locked up. Oh, he's shiverless. He's shiverless AF. Doesn't care. He's going right into Ungrim. Nicely done, Spiffy. Congrats on beating the Dwarves. That's cool. I'm super happy that that strat worked for you. All right, it's tanker time. Let's start with tanker plus 6 path. They teamed up on a 2v2 for a ladder match going up against Warriors of Chaos. LGB 14 and some other guy who I don't know. Tanker is playing Double Master and Beastmaster, which is a bit of a surprising choice because he doesn't have any beasts that I can tell. So he must be bringing the Beastmaster just for the Tormentor sword. Let's see how that pans out for him. He does have Tormentor sword on a Pegasus. That's kind of crazy. I mean, he's going to be able to fly to wherever he wants really quickly, net something. So it's almost like a mobile net of Amatok for the Dark Elves. That's kind of cool. Marauder Horsemen getting into it with Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. Horsemen are coming out on top there. They do have, I think, slightly better stats, 20-26, or sorry, 22-26. Yeah, they should be able to outtrade those guys in melee. Pre-poverty. Over here, we've got the Exalted Hero and the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Fire running like hell from the Masters. Because the Skirm Cavs was over here, these guys were able to get in here. This is a big fight. Are they just going to ignore the shots from the skirmishers? Looks like it. They are doing so much work on this Chaos Lord. Oh my gosh! Look at his HP just like getting chunked down. And these skirmishers got distracted. I think they decided to shoot at Marathi, which is the wrong choice because Marathi can heal. They needed to help out this Lord. Hey, so you had 4 units of skirmishers. Oh my goodness! Exalted Hero dead. Chaos Lord is on the ropes. And he's running away from his missile units right now. And these guys are way faster, so they're going to catch up to that. Hell Cannon over here in the corner. It is shooting, and he's trading shots with the bolt thrower, I believe. Which, I mean, is not the best of targets for it, honestly. It's better shooting into, like, high-tier infantry, but I don't see much high-tier infantry. At least not yet. It's all Dread Spears and stuff. We've got, yeah, just Dread Spears and Dark Shards, from what I can tell. Master, Beastmaster, I mean, this guy's done. So done. So the Triple Peg Squad. Let's just watch this cinematic. Oh man, coming through the trees. That is cool stuff right there. Beastmaster's gonna do the dirty. Oh, he's on the Manticore. Yeah, did I say it was on the Peg? I guess he's on the Manticore. My bad. He's a Beastmaster. And he doesn't have access to the Pegasus map, which is weird, because, yeah, maybe Pegasus don't count as beasts? I don't really know. I don't know. But Marathi is taking some damage. She's going to dodge some shots there. Six Path is, I guess, on top of his micro. I'm assuming that's Six Path because I think Tanker brought the Beastman squad. Charges here, Chaos Warrior Halberds with Cold Blood Knights. That's a dangerous spot for the Cold Blood Knights to be in. There's a good chance they're going to rampage, and you don't want them rampaging in Chaos Warriors with Halberds. A little swap here. Dread Sphere is going to screen them out much better. Chaos Marauders and Bleak Swords. Bleak Swords should come out on top here, but Chosen with Great Weapons will beat the snot out of Bleak Swords like for a long time, like just basically endlessly. They can take unlimited amounts of Bleak Swords, just about. Dread Sphere is going to screen off some shots here, coming over on the side. You got to spread these guys out a little bit. I mean, this is too easy for Tanker at Six Path, but this is absolutely the right choice. No need to chase. Just show them your shields, make them reposition. You got Dark Shards shooting in on them. Oh, we got a little fireball or fire coming through here. Not fireball. Burning Head. Where's the caster? Oh, it's Archaon. Archaon's going to rip that. And whiff mostly. Exalted Hero is in here with Archaon. Oh, there's a War Hydra. The Beastmaster can buff this War Hydra. It is a 2v2, so perhaps that was some planned synergy between Tanker and Six Path. I just couldn't see Six Path's army at the start. Dread Spheres are going to lock up these Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. I'm not sure if they tried to charge that or they were going for something else, but a little micro mistake there. In the front line, it looks like the War Hydra's about to break. It's a lot for him to fight in there with Archaon and the Halberds and other things, but he kept them busy for a long time, which is really all he needed to do. Marathi, I think she just dropped the Soul Stealer down here. So she's going to heal up pretty nicely, do a lot of damage to the Exalted Hero, to Archaon, etc., etc. I like that pick. Marathi against Chaos, pretty good. Chaos has a hard time shooting shooting stuff out of the air, at least with burst damage and at long range. And Marathi, it's a little bit safer to bring her against Chaos than against some other factions because of that lack of shooting. So Archaon's in tough here. 2 Masters, Beastmaster, and probably some debuffs from Marathi on top of that. We do have Tormentor Sword now that has been popped, so Archaon, I'm sure he'd love to get out of there. He can't. He's going to drop a Party Fireball to Marathi because he doesn't like her. And let's be honest, not many people do like Marathi. But yeah, there goes Archaon. Not many people like Archaon either. He's got plenty of enemies. So I think that's going to be pretty much all she wrote. I mean, we've seen the leadership drop. Got Dark Shards for days. Completely untouched. The backline was never really compromised. So pretty decisive win overall for the Dark Elves here. I mean, Six Path and Tanker really coordinating well together, dominating the air, which they can do against Chaos. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, Dark Elves are a top tier air faction. Chaos should not contest the air against Dark Elf. I mean, they could bring, you know, maybe one thing as a surprise pick or just to keep the Dark Elves honest, but I think they played 2 matches against those guys, and Tanker and Six Path were clearly expecting something like that, and they brought the right tools. So I'm going to roll through this list. We've got Tanker going up against the Dude. Morgor the Shadowgrave. With 2 Sagors. And a pretty balanced roster outside of that. We'll see how he does. Going up against the Wood Elves. You can see the huge range of the Sagors. Absolutely wild. 400 range. Pretty good. I mean, a cannon's about 450. But it's enough to outrange everything on the Wood Elf roster, which is going to force the Wood Elves to advance. Doesn't look like they have much shooting. They've gone with more of a tree cam type build, which is a cool play. I get it. I get why you would bring Treeman against Beastmen. Because Beastmen, they're kind of a horde faction. They can get around spears and archers pretty easily. I mean, they trade very well with spears. So we'll see. Wild Riders, I mean, they could be in their element here. We'll see how the Sisters of Thorn sort of combo with the Wild Riders. We're not seeing a spear screen. Oof, rocks from the Sagor are going to do some damage on these Wild Riders. And I think they got to make a decision. Either they go in or they fall back out of Sagor range, but they can't be dancing in Sagor range. That's not going to be a good thing for them. See another rock going in here. Yeah, that's going to clip another 3 or 4 models. I mean, I think he's trying to micro so that he dodges the rocks, and in fairness, he's doing an okay job of that. Clearly, this is a skilled Wood Elf player, and to bring a smart build to deal with what Tanker has, honestly. The Dryads should do very well against the Spears. And the Manticore Summon is going to give the Wood Elves a little bit more numbers, which should help against the Beastmen. We've got some rear charges coming in here. Centaurs, Chaos Warhounds with Poison going into the Dryads. That's a nice charge. Should do very well with the full surround. These guys don't have the best leadership in the world, and they could break very quickly, which would leave the Treekin isolated, which would mean that Tanker wins that flank. Over here, Ungor Spearman, Razorgore, doing kind of the same thing, another rear charge. So this is where the Wild Riders have got to be engaged and doing something. The front line is going to go obviously very well for the Wood Elves. Durthu, Treemen, and Treekin are so strong they can go wherever they want. I wonder if they should have split the Treemen. Put Durthu on one flank, put the Treemen on the other flank, and just hold the line with your monstrous infantry here. I think this is going to mean that basically Tanker's going to win both flanks, Wood Elves are going to win the middle, and then both flanks are going to collapse on Durthu and kind of get a full surround. That's how I predict this battle is going to go, but obviously it's still very early. A lot can happen. Who knows? This unit of Dryads is breaking, but they're still holding on. They do have a poison debuff on them. We have this unit of Wild Riders with a poison debuff on them, and poison also on these Ungor Spearmen. So I think the Sisters of Thorn are just shooting in and debuffing everything, including their own units. Just something that they need to be a little bit careful about, but Chaos Warhounds with poison are going to apply that poison anyways. I don't know about the Sisters of Thorn in this matchup, honestly. I'm not sold on it, but we'll see. Treekin are in here with the Dryads, and they're kind of holding tight. And then over here we got a major fight. Cygor is just bashing up as best he can against Durthu and the Ancient Treeman, but he doesn't. It's not the ROR Cygor with the net, so they can't just like net Durthu and walk away. They're gonna probably have to fight and stick it to the end. And I do think they're gonna drop. There's Chaos Spawn here who are kind of holding the rear and trying to do as much damage as they can to some of the supporting units, and they're doing okay. Treekin are dropping. The Branch Wraith is dropping. Morgar's still like decently well over here. Oh, looks like the Treeman turned around. That means the Cygor is getting some free hits in the Treeman. Oh, never mind. I think Treeman just whacked Cygor, and yeah. Oof, it's a tough fight. These Treemen are holding forever. They're losing, but they're holding, which is kind of what they do. More charges over here. Sisters of Thorn have locked up the Ungor Raiders. This unit of Wild Rider... Oh, sorry. The Wild Riders locked up the Ungor Raiders. Sisters of Thorn are maybe going to dive this Cygor just to shut it down for a little bit with the rock throws. I don't know. We'll see. They're still kiting. Tanker is trying to hit them with the rocks. But, you know, the Wood Elf players kept his army moving, like, pretty well. Man, these Treekin just holding forever against insurmountable odds here, and just, wow, amazing. Firebark Elder still at 10 unit models, but very low on HP. We do have Morgar in here. He's taking some hits from the Treeman. I think Tanker's probably going to want to abandon this this middle pocket and kite the Treeman as best he can. Morgar's got a speed of 39. Actually, yeah, maybe he can't kite the Treeman. Oh, jeez. Treeman 35 speed. So I take that back. He should be able to kite that Treeman. So yeah, I would probably just abandon that pocket. I would probably go in two directions. I'd probably put Morgar in one direction, the Cygor in the other direction, and make the Treeman decide. Does he want to go after Morgar and try and get the leadership off the field? Does he want to go after a Cygor? I don't know. But I do think it's going Tanker's way now. I mean, this Cygor is still really healthy. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, those Treemen are really healthy. What does he have for shooting? He does have this unit of Ungor Raiders. Okay, finally these Treekin break. Oh my goodness, they held forever. Shooting. Yeah, literally one unit of Ungor Raiders. So he doesn't have very much to be able to shoot the Dryad, the Ancient Treeman. He's going to chase these units off the field, hopefully. Chaos Warhounds with poison. Looks like they're going after some Shattered Dryads. He's got to reorient them onto the Firebark Elders. And this other unit over here. Those are... Firebark Elders are... Oh man, they rallied too. They are so hard to get off the field. That's going to be a big waste of time, not getting them off the first time around. Sisters of Thorn are going to be taking some shots here at Centaurs. Centaurs are not going to be able to catch the Sisters, I don't think. Yeah, their speed's down to 73 because of the poison effect. All he can do really is just sense the spheres after the Sisters of Thorn and kind of annoy them. Chaos Warhounds can do it as well. They could probably catch, but probably lead with the spears and then charge in with the Warhounds. I don't know. Yeah, they're going to tag. Okay, now that they've tagged, you can send the Centaurs, because the Sisters can probably just beat the Chaos Warhounds. Let's see. Yeah, 34-33 versus 26-17. Oh, I don't know, man. That's pretty tough. But yeah, if the Centaurs come in here, that changes it decisively. Centaurs, yeah, that's done. So those Sisters are donezos. They're not going to escape the Warhounds, which will tag them. So nice play from Tankar. Oh, here's the Raiders. Ungor Raiders on the side here. Oh, so he has 2 units of Ungor Raiders. Looks like he forgot about this unit here. But yeah, see what I mean about the Firebark Elders, man. If he could have just chased them off the field, he would have had so many more resources free. He would have had basically a safe shooting pocket for these Ungor Raiders. He would have had these Ungor Spearmen free. Man, it's going to be so annoying to kill them in a second. Oh man, these guys rallied too? So that's 18 Treekin that just rallied because Tankar didn't chase them off the field. That's super painful. And the Branch Wraith has heals too. So making matters worse, if he pops an Earthblood on these Treekin, that's going to be so brutal. And I do expect that he will do that. So at this point, oof, with the regrouped Treekin, I mean, it depends on what the Winds of Magic situation is looking like for the Wood Elves. But I really like this Wood Elf build versus Greenskins. I mean, it's cool stuff. It's going to take a lot to think about. Maybe not what Tankar expected. There's an Earthblood, but he missed with the Earthblood. He only hit 1 unit with the Earthblood. That is terrible cast. He could have balled up like Durthu, the 2 units of Treekin, and either the other Treekin or the Branch Wraith. I mean, and he got 1/4 of the value he could have got out of that Earthblood. That is terrible. And maybe that will cost him the game. So a couple mistakes on both sides. We'll see. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Looks like there's some repositioning. Here comes the Wood Elves. Pushing into position with big bad Durthu. Rocks coming in. Tankar spreading the field, just trying to get every little bit of ammunition he can. Ungor is going to shoot. But they don't have AP, and these guys have quite a bit of armor. Now it's a kite and fight. Durthu does have the Lamentation of Despair, so he does have a missile weapon for stuff that tries to kite. It does a lot of damage, and it has a cooldown of about 90 seconds, I believe. So every time he gets in range, he can just spit one of those. We'll see. He's taking some shots here. Man, what a fight. This could end in a draw. I'm not sure. Time is ticking up, though. Yeah, we'll see. Durthu's going to hide in the woods. I guess he figures he can't really catch anything. Going to drop a Lamentation of Despair on Morgr, but Tankar's able to dodge that slash heal through it, so not very effective. Much better against massed infantry. Ooh, we're going to push out of the woods. Tankar's going to all in this with everything. This is a huge fight. But I guess the Treekin drops, so now it's just individual entities, but Durthu's a beast, man. If Durthu drops, this other Ancient Treeman might drop as well. We'll see. Morgr's in there doing it. Oh yeah, it's going to go to Tankar. An absolutely brutal game. Very well played to both players. I really like the Wood Elf build and what he did with it. I think there were just a few like minor mistakes there down the stretch. Not casting the Earthblood in the right place. Very painful. On to Skaven. We've got Greenskins versus Skaven. This is a good matchup for Greenskins, I think. But I wouldn't bring this type of build that Tankar's building, so let's see how it goes. Mogwai is the opponent. He reminds me of like the dude from Jungle Book, Mowgli. Maybe that's what this is supposed to be. I'm not really sure. So what do we have here? We've got Scarsnake. We've got Goblin Rocklobber, Goblin Rocklobber, Goblin Rocklobber. We've got Hell Pit. Plague Priest for some summons. Definitely, I think, a must pick against Greenskins because Greenskins can go so wide. They're known as a horde faction. Skirmishers in the back. I like this. I think the light cavalry is going to cause Skaven absolute nightmares. Unless they brought like a lot of Skaven Slave Slingers. But to deal with 4 units of Goblin Wolf Riders, they would truly need a lot of Skaven Slave Slingers or Night Runners or other things to kind of deal with that. They're Gunner Riders and Night Runners in the front here. Chariot play and rocks. Just doing work to Clan Rats, just not too greedy here, I guess. I don't know what Tanker's trying to do with the Chariot. Maybe just distract some stuff. Oh, here's a beautiful charge. Clan Rats that were not really braced. I don't know. He's gonna pull through it. I mean, it didn't do much damage. He killed maybe 4 Clan Rats, but I don't think that was the important part. Look at all the resources that this Chariot is pulling, and the Skaven player is getting distracted here. He's way over committing on this. That's a 500 gold or with some chevrons, maybe 600 or 700 gold Chariot, and he's commit like probably 2,000 gold worth of resources to killing the 600 gold Chariot. In the meantime, 2 units of Goblin Rock Lovers are just pounding his infantry, and that damage will add up over time. I mean, unless he has a quick answer to this Goblin Wolf Chariot, he will take a lot of damage there. This other Goblin Wolf Chariot's going to shut down the Poison Wind Mortars. Very hard to protect these stationary shooting units for Skaven, I find. I mean, I'm not a Skaven player, but I do find it's a liability in many cases to kind of protect the stationary shooting. Lord Stroke's going to drop some Plague Monks, but that's not really a super effective summon for him. Actually, is this a double summon build? No, it's not. This is just Scorch. So yeah, only Scroll costs a summon, so this is still a turn illegal build as far as I can tell. Goblin Chariot's going to get in here and almost break the Skaven Slay Spears with 1 charge. Another rear charge coming into Clan Rats. They're going to go right through because it's not braced, so that's good. Tanker very active with the Chariots. Look at them, just going from Clan Rat to Clan Rat to Clan Rat, mucking up shooting. And meanwhile, the Goblin Rock Lobber is still firing. Balance Bar is in favor of Skaven though, which I find a little bit surprising. Maybe it's due to the Plague Monk summon. I'm not sure. Goblin Wolf Rider Archers. Looks like they are taking some damage here from the Poison Wind Mortars. Chipping them down to, like, I don't know, below half health. Maybe I wrote these guys off too quickly. Let's see if that's able to connect with these pretty quick. It is. It's doing good damage too. Maybe I underrated them. Leadership's dropping. It is applying a poison wind effect. It's going to damage them. So as they try to kite out, that damage is going to continue to take effect, like a sort of mobile mortis engine almost. Gutter runners with poison pushing in here. Chariots are still just screening, allowing the basically allowing the Goblin Rock Lovers to continue shooting. This is a super close fight. Neither army is really committing their big guns yet, though. The Hell Pit Abomination, the Plague Priest have been kept mostly in reserve, and Tanker's kept Skarsnik, his Goblin Big Boss, and his Black Orcs in reserve, as well as the other Goblin Big Boss. So it looks like both teams are very much content to just engage in this sort of skirmish trade for now. Clan Rats are dropping. I think this is the one thing that, you know, even though Balance Bar is in favor, perhaps, of Skaven, Tanker is dropping a lot of summons right now. Like, these summoned units, I don't know how many Skrulkas has summoned, but he doesn't get unlimited Winds of Magic. He doesn't get unlimited summons. And that's going to affect him later on in his ability to screen his Rat Ogres and the Hell Pit and the Poison Wind Mortars. I mean, so the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, I think they've already paid for themselves in terms of all the stuff they bidded out. Like, there's another Clan Rat summon. Like, I don't know if you're counting, but that's got to be Clan Rat number 2 or 3. And I've already seen the Plague Monk summon. Is he going to drop another one here? I don't know, but, you know, every time he summons, they're on time. Yeah, he is, too. I mean, they're not going to catch the Goblin Wolf Riders. Here they go. I mean, that's a Plague Monks. That's a 750 gold unit, normally, that he's just... that are fighting, what, Goblin Wolf Rider Archers? I mean, they're not going to kill the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, so, I don't know. They're not really doing anything other than screening this Poison Wind Mortar, but, like, it's just not worth it. Clan Rats getting mucked up still by the Chariots. I mean, sooner or later, these Rat Ogres have got to connect with the Chariots. Otherwise, the Chariots are just going to kill the whole Skaven front line. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here because I still have a ton of games to get through. We'll see how far I get on this. I might need to save some for later. but I'm not going to rush it too much. I mean, if it's a close game, I'm giving it its due. The Goblin Rock Lobbers are just missing, but they're being annoying. You know, once in a while, a rock will connect and kill a model here or there. Especially when they're stationary, the odds of success improve. On the other hand, here comes Skaven, putting in some shots. Oof. That poison just pounding the Savage Arc boys. The poison with mortars. It didn't actually look like it killed that many unit models, but man. Oh, it's Wagon time, boys. No more playing around. Greenskins are, you know, it's pretty dead even in the balance of power. Got another summon here for the Skrulk. But these Goblins are going to push right through. And Chariot's going to lock out the Poison with Mortar team. Maybe push into the second Poison with Mortar team. Rat Ogres took a lot of damage. I'm not sure from what. Oh, it must be the rocks. But yeah, if the Rat Ogres go down, it's not going to be much to brace the Skaven line against Chariot play. There's 2 units of Rat Ogres though. I mean, it's a pretty good Skaven player. I think he's playing it very well for the most part. My only criticism so far is just the summons. I mean, maybe he didn't have a choice, honestly. I don't know what I would have done with his army comp. Probably I would just screen with the Hell Pit as much as I can. But there's only so much screening you can do. Goblin Wolf Rider Arch is going to shut down these Night Runners. The Night Runners will probably win. But, you know, the charge bonus is nothing to sniff at, I guess. They will kill some models, and that means less shots from the Night Runners. So not a bad trade overall, I don't think. He's going to do the same thing on the far flank against the Gutter Runners with Poison, but this one he's going to follow up with some Goblin Spears. Over here, Scarsnake just got pounded. I think, I don't know. Did I say Stroke? It looks like that's a regular... Oh, it is Stroke, yeah. I don't know what killed, killed Scarsnake. Maybe it was the Hell Pit. But if Greenskin loses their lure, it's going to be painful. Got some counterplay here. Got 2 Goblin Big Bosses going in against the Plague Priest. Hell Pit's trying to force path his way in there. We do have the Rock Lobber crew being thrown into the fray. They've abandoned their artillery crew. Or they've abandoned their artillery and are just trying to lock up the Hell Pit for a little bit while the Goblin Big Bosses do a bit of work here. But I do think the Goblin Big Bosses are in tough. I mean, that's a lot for them to kill. Scroll plus the Hell Pit. There's Rat Ogres here pounding on Black Orcs. I mean, I like what Skaven's doing. This pocket, I think, is in favor of Skaven. Leadership could be an issue. Where's Skarsnik at? Did he rally? Because that's a big deal for Greenskin. He's going to escape. He is going to rally. So nothing being used to chase Skarsnik off the field. That's going to help. This unit of Clanronauts is going to drop very soon. These Goblin Big Bosses probably just had to kite, honestly. They had no chance up here against the Hell Pit, Skrulk, and the Plague Priest. They can regroup with Skarsnik and maybe isolate like one of these at a time. They got a shot. If they get 3v1 a unit, like here, 3v1, they can take down a Hell Pit. There's a, what is this? This poison debuff going in on the Hell Pit. 2v1, it gets a little more iffy. The Rock Lobber is now being used to shoot at the Plague Priest, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if it's accurate enough. It almost looks like it's pitching a line drive here. I'm gonna watch these rocks and see if they can connect. These goblins. There they go. I think they were hitting on the Hell Pit. Maybe that applies a leadership debuff. I'm not sure. Like a damage by artillery leadership debuff. I mean, Hell Pit has 100 leadership. It does. -10 damage by artillery. So that leadership debuff is actually key. It's not really the damage. It's not really the damage of the artillery. It's the effect on leadership. Because look, this Hell Pit is breaking now. That's a big deal. Skrulk's in here. He's going to be fighting, trying to get some revenge. Going to tap Skarsnik in the butt. But he's going to get full surrounded by Black Orcs. As a result of his cheekiness. Backline looks like it's secured. And I think this was the key. Just Tanker being able to isolate the heroes one at a time. At first it went horribly. But in a 3v1, which he was able to get, it went in his favor. And that was the turning point in the battle. So, very well played. We're going to go on to the next one. If you are watching the stream, guys, let me know what you think of the music. Is it is it adding atmosphere? Should I cut it? Is it too loud? Is it not loud enough? Help me out. All right. We got a game against Dwarf. Dwarfs have been on the receiving end of the beat stick the last few games that I've seen. I mean, Dwarfs are amazingly good against players that don't know what they're doing, or well, in certain situations they can be good, but against a player who knows what they're doing with the right tools, there's some really bad matchups for Dwarfs. I'm not gonna lie. Greenskins is one of them. Beastman is another. Anything with like low cost infantry does really well against Dwarfs. And anything with better shooting, the Dwarfs have to move. So I mean, it's really like, can you outshoot the Dwarfs, or can you break them up enough to get that surround? That's kind of the key for beating the Dwarfs. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Some initial positioning here. Tanker pushing right up on the edge of the map, which is a little bit risky because if you do get shot, you're going to just run off the map. But a lot of this is stealth. So all stock units. So far, nothing has been revealed. We got Night Goblin Fanatics, which, I mean, if it's high tier Dwarf stuff, the Fanatics could do some pretty good damage with the ball and chain. I'm going to watch that. In the rear, there's some Goblin Wolf Rider archers, which could do very well against Slayers if they're able to tag them. Is Tanker ready to do his move? He is. So, Night Goblin Archer is going to shoot in here, tag some miners with blasting charges. I do the same thing with Beastman against Dwarf. Miners with blasting charges are annoying as hell. I find this unit to be kind of a gimmick, honestly. If you just charge into them, they go, haha, I got you. And if you don't, then they're kind of useless. They're like a one-trick pony. So if you have like low-cost archers, Ungor Raiders or Goblin Archers, just back up and just kite them and shoot them and take your time. They only have 55 range. Even these trashy goblins have 115 range, so they can easily shoot from a safe distance. The blasting charges are being used to no effect, and Bolt Thrower is not going to do squat against that. So yeah, against Greenskins, maybe bring a flame cannon? I'm not sure, honestly. He did bring Iron Drakes with fire, though. I mean, those could do very well against goblins if they're able to shoot. They have the leadership debuff. So we'll see. But Goblin Archers getting free shots into these miners. I think we've seen one unit already not quite drop, but it's broken. Well, it's wavering, sorry. It's going to break soon, though. Night Goblin Shaman is being used to, like, basically cause them to ball up and face the wrong direction. And I think the infantry plus more shooting is going to take them off the field. On the other flank, it's probably the same story. Just shots from these two units of Night Goblins, just chipping them down. A third unit of Night Goblins chipping down this unit. And it's Woggin time. Skulkers getting in there. They're going to wreck the miners with blasting charges. Look at the stats on the Skulkers. 46 melee attack, 19, going up to 27 weapon damage with AP. That is really good for 120 unit models. That costs only like 500 or 550 gold. This is more than any other unit. I think the Skulkers are just the hardest unit for the Dwarves to deal with in the matchup against the Greenskins. And I do think the Dwarves against the Greenskins, they might want to abandon the traditional sort of like static shooting, like defend the Bolt Thrower at all costs type of thing. You probably want to go with a more mobile build with Rangers and Gyrocopters and see if you can pick out some key things, and then yeah, go from there. Maybe even go with a Slayer rush with some rune support. I don't really know, to be honest. Stand Your Ground popped here. That's going to support these Slayers. Slayers going up to 65 melee defense. That's pretty good. Night Goblin Fanatics don't have Wog proc, but they still have 33 melee attack, so a few of those shots are going to land. Night Goblin Shaman here. Did I see some Fanatics go through? I thought I did, but maybe I missed it. Anyway, ooh. Iron Drake's going to rip a shot here across these nasty Skulkers. Oath of Vengeance being dropped here, but I do think they're going to get smoke bombed if they haven't been smoke bombed already. And in any case, they are locked up and not firing anymore because the Skulkers are in on them. Bolt Thrower is wrapped up, and I mean, this is just, It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly really quickly here. All of this, the flanks have collapsed. Oh, they're shooting in combat. That's crazy. They just like shot these guys right in the face with the fire. Insane. The unit of miners regrouped on the flanks, but the bowmen are just going to turn around and shoot them again, I guess. We've got not Ungrim, Thorgrim. Why is every dwarf called Grim? Like, get a little even Grom Brindle almost sounds like, oh, look at that Fanatics going through. Pretty good damage. Another unit of Fanatic. Look at this Kite and Fanatic tactic. That's awesome. Alright, shots going in here on the Dragonback Slayers. Dwarf, the old Dwarf ball is in effect, guys. We've seen it in 100 million Dwarf games. This game is no exception. Skulker's going to get smoke bombed and cut up here. Sorry, the Gyrocopter. More shots over here on the Slayers. Thorgrim's going ham. But he can't catch anything. This game's over. It's just a formality now. Another unit of Fanatics goes through these Dwarf Warriors. I think it's Dwarf Warriors. No, Longbeards. They're just chipping them down. So it's Felix and Thorgrim against the world in the trees. I think Balensbar actually kind of came back a little bit there for Dwarfs. I'm not really sure, but... More Fanatics. Those ones probably killing their own guys. But yeah, I mean, Tanker knows he's got it now. He's going to get a full surround and just dive them and grind them out. Felix is going to drop. There goes Felix. And once Felix is gone, all the oaths in the world are not going to save you from this greenskin onslaught. I mean, he's tanking like a champ. He's smacking his anvil. Oh. Let's just see him go to work here. I was a little too slow on that. Griff the Marrow Meister. That's quite a name. We're on to the infantry. Beastman versus Lizardman. Lizardman, they've got the Saurus. We've got some Chameleon Skinks, Kroxagora, and a Carnosaur in the back. We also have a Slann Mage Priest of Life with Regrowth, Earthblood, and Shield of Thorns. And I've kind of always wondered, like, why would you bring a Slann Mage Priest if you can bring a Reviv Crystal? Like, why spend Winds of Magic on healing? I don't know. I guess if you want everything in one package, I mean, with this you get the Shield of the Old Ones. You do get the Banishment, you get the Arcane Conduit. I mean, it's versatile. This is pretty good too. The Blood Statuette, I think it's underrated. Forecast of this, plus a Banishment, plus the Aura of Quetzal, it means that you get a lot of frontline control. And if you drop that Shield of Thorns as well, you can be pretty deathbally. And I guess that's what this Lizardman player is counting on doing with the Source Warriors. But getting a little greedy here with the Source Scarvet. He's going to chase after the Brachian of Beasts. There was a lot of Warhounds getting ready to countercharge there. And he's making the right decision by falling back. Well, he's got to keep falling back, though. Keep going, little Dino Boy. Over here, some counterplay from the Lizards. They're going to push out some Chameleon Skinks, just try and be a nuisance. Basically, what they want to do is they're trying to bait the Beastman to diving into their Saurus. And the Skinks are responsible for that job. Charge is going to get in here on the Source Warriors, lock them up for a little bit, and meanwhile, the Source Scarlet is going to take a full surround. He's going to pop the Deadly Onslaught, but he's going to take a lot of damage in the process. I do expect the Regrowth to go down here on the Source Scarvet. I mean, he can fight that. He can fight that without too much problem. But he's going to take a lot of damage. He's got to really try and fall back into his Saurus. And yeah, I don't know, man. Is there Regrowth? There's no Regrowth yet. Did I miss the Regrowth? Did I miss the Shield of Thorns? Like, is he just going to let him... Wow, that's really late, that cast. Here's the Regrowth now. There it is. But, dude, he waited so long to cast that. Let's check in on the other flank. We've got... he'll probably lose a Source Scar. Oh, just before he broke. Man, if he broke, Tanker would have chased him off the map for sure with the Warhounds. So really, just in the nick of time for the Lizardman player, but full surround going on the Mage Priest of Life. That's tough news for him. More damage going in on the Source Scarvet. I mean, if you got the Source Scarvet, just try and be disciplined. Keep him close to your Slot Mage Priest. Uh, there's got to be something else to deal with the Chariot play, honestly. Or he's got to be kept a lot closer to the Source. The only issue with the Carnosaur is the attack animations they're a little bit wild. They're a bit like the Medusa for the Dark Elves. Kind of like dives really deep in whatever it's attacking. So if it did try and attack the Chariot, let's say it missed, it's going to go like so far away from the Sora's screen that it's going to get itself into some trouble. Maybe get a full surround. Slot Mage Priest of Life has been able to kind of escape from a lot of pressure. Sacred Kroxigor is going to get pulled up in here and probably be used to support, but man, these Carnosaurs are in tough. Source Scarvet, full surround. The leadership is holding out, but Source Warrior is also just getting ground down. Earthblood going to be popped here. Going to keep them fighting just barely, but Razorgors, yeah, they're losing, but they're doing a lot of damage on the Source. I'm seeing a lot of Beastmen over here, not going to lie. This flank is looking pretty good. Morgr can just go right after the Slot Mage Priest. Like, there's no need to chase the Carnosaur. Go kill the Slot Mage Priest. He's undefended, dude. Source over here fighting his spears. Yeah, I think that's a mistake to send Morgr over there. But it probably doesn't matter too much. I mean, Balance Bar is looking pretty good. Well, Balance Bar is fairly even, let's say. But I feel like things are going really well for the Beastmen. These Chaos Warhounds get in here on the Skirmishers, and then the Chariots basically just kill the Skirmishers while the Warhounds are locking them up. That's going to be really nice. This Carnosaur is really screwed. Get Morgr in here whacking on the Slann, yeah. No, Morgr's, yeah, that's another reason why it's not worth chasing the Source Scarvet, because the Source Scarvet can just run away. Whereas this guy's going to have a harder time doing that. 34 speed. Morgr's like, what, 39? So Morgr with poison can just tag him and stick on him. I mean, okay, Morgr does have the poison debuff, so if you can debuff the stats of the Source Scarvet, like I kind of get that. But if you go find the Slot Mage Priest, the Source Scarvet's going to come find you. You don't have to chase him around. I promise you, he's going to turn around and try and save the Slann. Sacred Kroxigors are over here. They're going to take a charge from the Razorgor herd, and that's going to be painful for them. Razorgor are going to do pretty well at getting through that 100 armor of the Sacred Kroxigors. And Sacred Kroxigors have, wow, only 26 melee defense? That's really, 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 really bad for a unit that costs so much and has so few unit models. I mean, Treekin, I think, are sitting in the like 40 range for melee defense. And to see Sacred Kroxigors chilling at 20 is like, it's brutal. Full surround here. I think this is going to be it for the Lizardmen. Slot Mage Priest is going to try and escape with his Dino buddies. I mean, they're holding tough here. They're holding tough. What do we have here? We got Earthblood going down here. Going to keep these swords fighting. I mean, there is a little bit of a pocket here. The Mage Priest is about to get killed. Ooh, a charge and a counter charge. So the Slot Priest of Life was so low, but the Source Scarvet, just in the nick of time, dives into the rescue. But because he dove there, that means the Saurus were not supported over here, which meant this one's full surrounded, which means this pocket's going well. And yeah, I think the Source Scarvet's not going to be able to do anything about the Manticore. And that's going to be it. So another nice win for Tanker. So if you're the Lizardmen player here, what do? I mean, it's just too much Source Warrior. Probably you want to get a Source Scarvet on a Coal one or some regular Coal ones, because they're going to do, or Ferals even, because they'll do better at dealing with like Chariot play, for example, than something like a big Feral Carnosaur. Or you can tag with the Feral Coal ones and then follow with the Carnosaur, but just going straight in with the Feral Carnosaur is a little bit brave. Like, try and keep a screen in front of your Feral Carnosaur at all times if you can, so that it just doesn't get full surrounded. That's the moral of the story. All right, so we're on to a game against the Empire. Skarsnik getting a lot of play, and we're seeing a lot of Goblin Goblobbers. Maybe catching people off guard with that. King Nifty's got the what's up, Sadao? Got Sadao and Tanker who have tuned in. It's good to see you guys. Sadal, man, I didn't get any replays from you this week. If you got any good battles, feel free to drop them in the replay channel, and I'll get to them. We got Goblin Rock Lobbers over here, all across the battlefield, basically, going pretty wide. Empire is fairly mobile, like Demi. These are not the Halberd versions. These are the AP kick your ass version, and I like that against Greenskins because it's going to be really hard to protect the cannon against Greenskins. So I think this Empire player has the right idea by trying to go with something a little bit more mobile. On the other hand, he's balling up like crazy and taking a lot of unnecessary damage here. He's also turning himself broadside. Look at Tanker. He's kind of splitting his shots here. He's got some shots going into Outriders, grenade launchers, other shots going into the handgunners. Make it very hard for the Empire to protect both. And look at all the... I mean, the Empire has still invested a lot into protecting these handgunners with the spear screens and the swordsmen. If the handgunners just die from the Goblin Rock Lobbers, it's going to be painful. On this particular map, you do have the really big hill in the middle. Yeah, I don't care if it's a free-for-all, Sadao. Whatever is fun for you. There's a really big hill in the middle. So actually, the Goblobbers kind of do okay on that. They can sort of shoot over the hill. It sort of negates the Empire cannon advantage. So I like the army choice by Tanku here, sort of forcing Empire maybe a little bit away from their strengths because they can't just have that, you know, that one cannon that anchors their whole army and then kind of play around that. So we'll see. Outriders with grenade launchers, they do a lot of damage. Haha, I said do. They do a lot of damage if they're able to connect. Goblins are going to dodge those shots as best they can. A few of their compatriots are not going to survive, but I mean, if the grenades are shooting goblins, that's not the worst thing in the world. But I do think this Goblobber's not going to be operational for too much longer. There are Skulkers here. There's another Goblin Rock Lobber over here. I don't know, we'll see. Demi's peeling around the flanks over here. So Empire's trying to go wide here. He's forgotten a unit of spears that could push up and take this this Goblobber offline. He could also be using that unit of spears to screen for his cavalry, which are now taking wog hits from the Black Orcs, which is going to be absolutely savage. I mean, these Demis need to get out of there ASAP. They're going to lose so many unit models fighting Black Orcs that are wogged. It's very expensive. Look at this unit just getting pounded. Now poison effect has hit them. Goblin Big Boss is in there. Now because of poison, it's going to be hard for them to get away. Look, this unit's fighting Black Orcs as well with no buffs or support. That's going to be brutal. Boris is in here doing nothing. He needs to be over there supporting his guys. He's poisoned. I mean, Boris has some pretty good debuffs, right? If he uses those debuffs to support the Demis, that can help. Oh wow, that's a rage quit. Or like a quick surrender. Yeah, nice from Tanker. I think that Goblobber build really catches Empire. Well, it catches a lot of people off guard. Like, most Greenskin players don't play like that. I guess the Empire was expecting like an infantry rush, and that's why he brought a lot of like mobile cavalry units. He was probably going to try and shoot with his Outriders with grenade launchers and then countercharge with his Demi Halberds. But yeah. To stop what, Sidao? The Demis? I mean, Tanker did it, but I think it's because the Empire player mismicroed. But yeah, I mean that was a mistake. But Greenskins, I think they have to do it with poison. They can kind of mob them with Squigs. Honestly, Squigs have a lot of unit models, and they have AP. Squigs and poison, and I think they're faster. I think Squigs would have done really well. Anyway, Marauder Horsemen going to trade some shots here with the Marauder Horsemen throwing axes. Kind of a mirror situation here, except that there's a lot more of the Chaos ones. We've got 5 skirmishers over here, but they're balling up and they're shooting at the trees. So Tanker's going to fall back. Oh, here's 4 units of skirmishers from Tanker. So I was wrong, but these guys are kind of balling up. Meanwhile, Tanker's got that like concave firing arc, so he might actually even be able to win a 4-on-5 just because of the positioning. Chaos getting fully surrounded over there. Kolek's going to move up here. He's got Chaos Marauders with great weapons. Got some Chosen. Ooh, they're going to be scary if the Chosen are able to fight in the trees. Forsaken as well. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, the Demis got pounded last game. Anyway, Werekin pushing in here. We've got the armored skin wolves. Gonna try and get into the back of these marauder skirmishers. Will they have the speed to catch them? The answer is likely no. Unless they get stuck on trees, which they might. I think no. I think they're gonna escape to safety there. Over here we have the Feral Manticore chasing after Marauder Horsemen. Not gonna be able to catch them. But free shots coming in here. Chaos Marauders, chip down. Chaos Marauders great weapons. Chip down. This unit's almost at half health. Meanwhile, let's look at the health for these units. Almost full for all of them. You got the Marauder Horsemen on the other hand. Yeah, still pretty healthy, but they've used a decent amount of their clip. Some charges from the Skin Wolves are going to go in on the Chosen. They're going to want to get out there quickly. If I was the Chaos player, I would dive those Skin Wolves right now. And I would force that fight in the Chosen. Put these guys into melee mode. Do not let the Skin Wolves or the Werekin escape. I think that's a mistake to try and shoot them in the back, because they're gonna heal a lot of that damage. They're gonna peel away. They're gonna heal up. You had a chance to erase a hero and an armored Skin Wolf right there by forcing them to fight Chosen, and you didn't do that. That's a big loss. That's almost 2,000 gold you just let escape, or more than 2,000 gold. Marauder Horse Masters over here are gonna go over the Chaos Marauders. They'll be shooting them in the back. It doesn't matter because they don't have shields anyways, but still. Free shots. Yeah. Ice Horn Marauders, just chilling, bidding their time. Marauder Chieftain is just hiding. The Forsaken, see, this is a lack of intel, I think, for the Chaos player. If he knew where the Marauder Chieftain was, he would have sent the Chosen straight after the Marauder Chieftain. But I think he's figured it out now, because he's pretty much checked every other wood. I mean, there's not many other places left the Norskin leader can be hiding. So I think he's got to really try and make his way over there. Marauder Horsemen are going to get into rear charge here, going to try and bail out. Chaos Feral Manticore going to try and do the dirty on the Skin Wolf Werekin, but the Werekin's going to just run away. No problemo. Chaos is getting distracted here. Like, all of these are really mobile elements that can heal a lot. And ditto over here. I mean, this is a very mobile Norskin army. Like, don't play the mobile game with them. Go find their lord and murder him. I mean, you got Kolek, dude. Kolek, Sun Eater. You've got Chosen. Like, forget the skirmish game. At least for now. Let him win the skirmish game. Go find out where the infantry is and go kill it. Yo, what's up, Nameless? I will do it. I just can't. I gotta get through my cast. Like, I do a weekly community cast now, and I was committed to doing that, so we'll see. Maybe like I said, maybe next weekend we could do it. I had a lot of like house cleaning and other in real life stuff I had to do today, unfortunately. So Marauder Horsemasters here taking some shots. I mean, if you like skirmish cavalry, I mean, this is kind of your game, man. Skirmish cav for days. No real engagement yet. I mean, these infantry are just, they're going on a joyride all over the place. They have no idea what they're doing. They're completely clueless. Now they've just decided to stand still. Nope, now they're going in the wrong direction again. Like, Tanker's been able to, like, confuse his enemy enough to distract him into not going after his lord. And, like, Chaos has to realize they have no chance of catching any of this. So just ignore it and go catch what you can catch. Now, Kolek's going to do some work here on this guy, but at some point, this guy is probably going to run away. Maybe? Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, here we go. Party time. Charges from the Marauders. Going to get in on the Chaos Marauders with great weapons. The jig is up? I don't know. Marauders across the line. Is there any caster? I don't think so. Kolek has got the Storm of the Underpants. What's it called? Lord of the Storm. You can drop it over here on the Marauders if you wanted to. But he's not. He's going to drop it on the Werekin, and it's not going to do anything. I don't think. The Werekin are probably just going to heal it. We got Chosen. Okay, here's what needed to be doing work like about a year ago. The Chosen are finally going to do some damage here. Werekin are in here fighting Chaos Marauders. Skirmishers are going to start shooting in at Kolek. On the far flank, it looks like some Forsaken have been forgotten. That's 2 units of Forsaken. That's 1,500 gold worth of infantry sitting and doing absolutely nothing. They could be plowing these Marauders right now. So that's a huge mistake by Chaos. So, I mean, are Chosen going to win over here? Yeah. But they could have won a lot faster with 2 units of Forsaken helping them out. I know they're going to have to start dealing with cycle charges to the back and other things. Skinwolf Hurricane's going to hit Kolek. Kolek did get a rear charge in on the Marauders, but honestly, it's not the best use of his talents. Nameless, man, drop me some replays and I'll cast them. I'm just working my way down the list. Kolek's going to escape to safety here. And Marauder Chieftain going hard. Like, he can fight some Chosen with a little support. For a little bit. No, he can't. Who am I kidding? He's getting his ass beat down by the Chosen. And he's going to get his ass beat down by Kolek. And now he's terror routed. And now he's going. And now he's pinned. Kolek is pinned. This is a really long fight, guys. Holy smokes. Kolek versus Marauder Chieftain. Werekin are in here. Infantry's in here. Werekin just got beat. He got beat down. And Marauder... That's not the... Oh, maybe that was just a regular Skinwolf. Not the Werekin. But yeah, Kolek's in here. Smashing and bashing. This Norscan Chief's about to get kicked the bucket. Oh, God. The Lord of the Storm is distracted. He wants to go play croquet with, I don't know, something. Forsaken are... He's remembered his Forsaken. Now the Forsaken are going to get in here. Make it harder for the Skinwolf Werekin to cycle charge. And the other Werekin. There's 2 Skinwolf Werekin here. Wow. Pop Deadly Onslaught. It's going to take a lot of damage in there. They got to force path their way out of there. Kolek's got to, like, stop them from force pathing their way out of there. I don't know what he's doing. Kolek, man, just go stand in your infantry and you got this. But he's feeling cocky right now. Look at this guy. Absolutely pounded. He tried to escape the infantry, just got full surrounded again. Chaos could still do this, but Kolek's got to, like, be disciplined and stay near his infantry. He can't. I don't think he can kite the Skinwolves. Skinwolf's speed is 65. Oh, he can. 78 speed. But not if the Marauder Horsemasters get in there, and they will, probably. These guys are idle. They got to come over here and lock these guys up, dude. Chaos has a good army. Like, I think it's their game to win, but I think they made some big mistakes here. We'll see if they're able to pull it back, though. I mean, the infantry is pretty healthy, and the armored. I mean, the Werekin not gonna do great against that. That was nice. You see how he just kind of like slipped the door there, screen these guys out, got in a little bit of damage. These Skinwolves took a lot of damage there. So nice play to Chaos there, just curling around. Kolek is running his life against the Skinwolf Werekin. 80 speed though. These guys have got to lock him up, dude. Put them in melee. No, they're on skirmish mode. Dude, save your lord, man. Save your lord. Lock him up. Oh, you got to turn off skirm mode. Dude. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe if you have like 75 times the mass of this guy, you could just turn around and smack him. The Deadly Onslaught was popped and not really being put to good use now. Kolek is kind of just going wherever he wants with his big-ass mass. Gonna knock these guys away. He will take some hits here, though. This could be it. This could be it for Kolek. 2 Skinwolf Werekin. Okay, now he's gonna put them into melee. Finally. Took him long enough. But yeah, this one's gonna get in here. Deadly Onslaught, full charge into the rear of Kolek. Second Deadly Onslaught, full charge into the rear of Kolek. That's gonna kill Kolek. Yeah, I mean, all he had to do was stand in his infantry and use these guys to pin. And he kind of got isolated there. So some micro mistakes early and micro mistakes late, I think, cost Chaos the game. Look, there's another unit of Marauder Horsemen that weren't used to screen or snare. So yeah, I mean, this was Chaos's game to win. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they had all the tools to win this game decisively, and we'll see. Now I think it's gonna come down to a lot of cycle charging here. I mean, can the Wolves just cycle and heal? I think they can. But these are Chosen. They are not pushovers in combat. This is a crazy fight, man. Skinwolf Werekin coming into the Chosen. They're going to lead and let the Icehorn Marauders do the charge, which is good. You usually want to lead with your individual entities and then follow with your larger unit so that you get less units taking the charge from your opposing player. Oh, it ends in a draw. It ends in a draw. So Tanker submit a draw. So he hasn't won every game. He has not won every game. I mean, I think for Tanker, he had no punch in his army. Everything was too finesse. Like Marauder Horsemen, he's got like what 4, 5, 6 units of skirmishers. He's got nothing that hits harder than the Icehorn Marauders in his infantry corps. And then he's got wolves that basically need to hit and run, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. So, yeah, I mean, if he had all day, could he have won that? Maybe. I mean, balance bar was in his favor. You know, he was close, but if you do play quick battle, you're on a clock. We're going on to Chevaliers de Lyonesse versus a Banana Fist. Yeah. Did you think Tanker was going to pull that one out, Sadao, or did you think it was going to go to Chaos? Yeah, it was time limit, for sure. Alright, so it's kind of ironic that the Chevaliers de Lyonesse are usually picked not because of Reponse, but because of this double hippo option. You get the Hippogriff up in the air with Henri le Massif, and you get the Lord the Hippogriff, which is super strong. You got 2 units that can fly, 440 AP damage. This one's 410 with anti-large. Guardian ability, which is going to make this guy tougher. You got Standard Ground, which is going to make it harder to hit Henri le Massif. So there's some synergy going on there. If these two work in tandem, it's going to be able to take down definitely a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. So you'd really need 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggoths to kind of compete with that. Or you need like a lot of Skirmisher Archers, but it's unlikely they bring up a lot of Skirmisher Archers against Bretonnia because Bretonnia Broman can deal with Skirmisher Archers pretty easily. Yeoman can also kind of counter trade with them. So we got 3 units of Yeoman on the flanks here. 4th unit of Yeoman Archers. A 5th unit of Yeoman Archers. So very like finesse, I guess. Why am I talking about Shaggoths? We got Empire here. I'm on crack. Anyway, we got a Great Cannon. What is it? Huntsman? Just from how this Empire player is moving, I can tell they're not a very experienced player. Everything is balled up here. If Tanker... I mean, Bretonnia is not really known for their line spells outside of Alberic's Trident. But... oof. That's a lot. Demis are over here in the woods. They're going to have a hard time catching a lot of stuff. Look at this rear charge coming in from Tanker. Yeoman and Yeoman Archers. Going to take that offline really quickly. Demis are just... they're taking a nap, man. They are looking at the birdies in the trees. They'll be like, do griffins count as birds? They have beaks. Maybe they're looking for their relatives. Could be. But in the meantime, this cannon's getting pounded. And over here, absolutely nothing is happening. Shots going in on the side. I'm going to fast forward this one because I can tell it's going to be a quick game. Tanker's too skilled of a player for this to be a very long game. So Demis are going to push out here. They're going to go into the swords and kill them. Spears are going to follow. Counter charges coming from Knights Errant. We've got, what are these? Knights Errant going into Halberds. A little bit brave. I don't know if they were braced or not. Maybe that's a little too fast. We've got Yeoman pressuring the back line. Over here, Halberds were able to break off some Yeoman. I don't know. The Empire player just lost their spirits. That was kind of a weird game. Hey, Squiddy Man, how's it going? Life is good. Life is good. It's been an interesting time with the coronavirus. I'm not gonna lie. There's been a few things going on with my family on the side, which I won't talk about on live stream, but it's been a lot. But I'm good. I've got in some painting time, and you know, I'm still having fun with this game. I still love this game. I played a couple of campaigns as Malice versus like legendary difficulty. I did some of them with Botrix. Botrix was playing as what's his name, Snitch, and I got my ass handed to me repeatedly, but had a great time. And I'm probably gonna keep trying that legendary campaign, see if I can get it to go. I watched. I did watch a playthrough, and the person who, well, at least the start of a playthrough, just to see the first the first like couple of turns, and what the guy did on Legendary was very unorthodox, and basically he abandoned his start position with Malice and retreated back to Hag Grief with Malice, which I think was the right play. But it's like not really, I think, how the campaign was designed to play. But on Legendary difficulty, I think you got to throw the conventions out the window and do what works. I think on the lower difficulty levels, certainly you could play and try and beat the Lizardman. But yeah, we got a game to talk about. Arachnar Queen is over here, unsupported. I think that's a very, very risky play against High Elves. She's not even hidden. I don't know if that was a misplay, because High Elves, I mean, if they had dragons or something, or Alario, they could just fly over there and kill the Arachnarok, and because the Arachnarok's right on the edge of the map, unsupported, it would just be gone, and that's 2,000 gold just off the map right away, and like your linchpin unit. So I think that was a very risky play. Could have gone very badly for Tanker. I think it was lucky that it didn't. But the other issue is, look at how far away the Arachnarok is from everything else. Like, she's got to hustle over here now. Like, they need her support. Like, those Spiderling hatchlings could have been used to interrupt the charge of the Dragon Princes. Instead, well, it looks like the Skulkers were able to respond to that okay. But it would have given Tanker one more option. Skulkers are going to do really well against White Lines of Trace as well. So High Elves have got to come up with a better answer here to deal with Squigs, Skulkers, and Night Goblin Archers, then slamming Dragon Princes into the Skulkers. We've got the Star of Avalon getting popped here. I mean, this is really attrition. Shield of Thorns being pumped into the Dragon Princes. Just all the stops being put out here. Did we see Sunfang go down from Tyrion? I think so. We've got the White Lines of Trace just getting wrecked by the Goblins right now. Skulkers have AP that can get through that armor. These are Night Goblin Fanatics. They debuff the stats of these guys a little bit with poison. Are we going to see Martial Mastery dropping soon? It's still up, but it's going to go soon. Here comes the Arachnarok. Squigs are busy in the back line. There's not very much shooting for the Greenskins. What do we have over here? Goblin Big Boss. Another Goblin Big Boss. The Big Bosses could probably be used to deal with that Flamespire, especially now that Arachnarok is here. The Flamespire can be snared by the Big Boss and killed by the Arachnarok. Skarsnik's in here. He can also do the same job. Arachnarok's having a bit of a brain cramp right here. Oh, she's going to go after... Oh, it's Alario exposed. Excellent. If you can tangle Ariel, definitely go do that. That's even better than the Frostheart. You're going to chomp her. She's going to run away. Yeah, maybe not worth it, because she could just kite that if she wanted to. Where's the Spider Summons? Drop those Spider Summons. Snare Alario in there. You got to get her locked up, man. Here come the Skulkers. They have a snare. Charge is going down on White Lines of Trace. The Squigs are going to do well. The Squig Hoppers have AP damage. The charge bonus and a full surround, they should do a lot of damage on the White Lions. The Arachnarok Queen's in here. Earthblood being popped. Going toe-to-toe. Alario, she's in tough here. She does have her White Lions supporting her. She does have Dragon Princes. She does have the Frostheart. So that's a lot of heavy hitting material from the High Elves. High Elves are actually ahead in the balance of power here. There's some regrouped units, some Skulkers and other things that could probably be used to help out. The shots from the Archers, it looks like they are going into the White Lines of Trace instead of the Dragon Princes, instead of Alario, or instead of the Frostheart. So I think that unit needs to be shooting elsewhere. This unit is shooting in at some Spearmen, so some suboptimal shots here, I think, from the Archers. Over here we've got the Skulkers just chipping away the White Lines of Trace. You do see that the Martial Mastery has dropped now, and they're going to start taking some pretty heavy damage, especially with the poison and other things. Skulkers are getting the buff as well to their stats because they are winning right now. So, well, they were winning. Not now. I think they're getting hit by the poison debuff as well. Arachnarok's in here. And it's hitting on Alario. I don't think Alario's able to get out. The Arachnarok's got to be careful though. Maybe it's going to push Alario out of there and free her up. We'll see. No, it wasn't Legend of... was it Legend of Total War? I don't remember. I think it was some guy called like Professor or something. I don't know. I don't do a lot of campaign stuff. I'm more of a multiplayer guy, but I don't know. I had a moment where I was just in the mood. I was tired after work, and I was like, campaign seems like the right thing to do when you're kind of tired. You want a quiet time. Spearman gonna get charged here. This is a really atrocious battle, man. The only thing that's going really good for the Greenskins right now is Skarsnik is super healthy. The Ragnarok has been beating the crap out of Valerial and probably just killed her. And the Frostheart Phoenix has been here for way too long. It's got to just like get away from the Ragnarok. Like Skarsnik and the Ragnarok are really good anti-large tools. We'll see, man. Dragon Princes are low on leadership. Looks like they were able to break some squigs. This is a close fight, man. It's dead even. Did Valerial rally somewhere? I don't know. White Lions are here, though, but they're going in the wrong direction. They got to come back here and help the main fight. That's 800 gold worth of White Lions chasing off some trashy spears that they could kill at any time. The Ragnarok's locked up here, though, fully surrounded with spears. So the Frostheart was able to maybe bait the Ragnarok and Skarsnik in here for a little bit longer than he should. Skarsnik's got to get out of here before he gets stuck in the spears. What's this? Summon? Hatchling summon? Yeah, that's needed. Oh, but they almost crumbled immediately. But Skarsnik's got to use that like little buff to get out of there. Greenskin's pulling ahead in the balance of power here. We've got a fight of Skulkers against White Lines of Trace. Skulkers will trade effectively there. Against Spearmen, rear charging though, they're going to break. Here comes the Ragnarok into the spears with the rear charge. It's going to be okay. Poison on the spears. We'll see. Skarsnik's still stuck in here though, taking a lot of damage. Got to watch that closely. Skarsnik's got to go after the Frostheart every time the Frostheart lands. Goblin Archer's going to get charged by the Dragon Princes. This is really tough for Greenskins now. The Arachnarok Queen has got to look for the Frostheart and it's got to look for the Dragon Princes, I think. But infantry situation is real bad for the Greenskins now. They've got Goblin Big Boss, the Arachnarok Queen, and Skarsnik. But that's pretty much it. Like, once these Spider Hatchlings drop, there's a big risk that these guys could just get surrounded. I think he's got to go after these Dragon Princes right now. He's got to secure, like, at least the mobility advantage. Meanwhile, the High Elf player, he's got to put the Dragon Princes behind his infantry, and he's got to lead with his infantry and protect these Dragon Princes at all costs, as well as the Frostheart. Because he's got to use those basically to force Skarsnik and other things to fight in his infantry blob. So that's good. He's able to skip the Dragon Princes, but he didn't need to keep running with them. He just got to wrap them around behind. Like, there's nothing else over there. So you got to recognize when the chase is off and stay close to your troops. Like, you're running away with a lot of resources there. Because he could have used them now to pin, right? Because now the infantry blob is here. This is where you want the Dragon Princes engaged. You want the Dragon Princes fighting now because the infantry is here. So we'll see. Frostheart is, I think, doing some debuffs, some Chillin' Aura stuff. Let's see. I always forget what that does exactly. It's like minus 12 weapon damage, minus 9 melee attack, minus 12 AP damage. I mean, it's okay. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot, to be perfectly honest, but it's okay. Here come the Dragon Princes. Not fighting in infantry yet. They're going to take all of the damage because the infantry is not there to screen it. They're going to break, and that's probably going to do it. I think the Greenskins are going to win because of that. I think that was a big, big mistake. You can't lead with your cav. You got to lead with your infantry. If there's one thing that I would like you to learn about Warhammer, it's lead with your infantry or lead with like a low tier cav, but don't lead with your high tier cav. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that seals the deal. Maybe, I don't know. It was Professor something. Tiddes Devinen. I mean, good game. You played well. You brought Lariel on horseback, which I feel is significantly less broken than the other variant. And you brought White Lines of Trace, which was kind of interesting against Greenskins. I would not have expected that. Honestly, they're not fantastic against Greenskins. With Lariel, they're viable with Foz protection. But, like, I mean, I don't know. 2 units of Dragon Princes. Dragon Princes are really, really good. And Lariel can do a lot in terms of synergy to help them. But you might still want to screen. I like some Illyrian Reavers. I know they're not as sexy, but they work. Did I skip this game? Brett versus Counts. Where am I? Oh yeah, this one get Hiles. Okay, so we're good. Chevaliers versus Vampire Counts. I just keep going. Yeah, no shooting for Hiles. Really weird, eh? I guess they were worried that they'd just get overrun by the Greenskins. I can see that. I mean, maybe 1 unit of Illyrian Reavers would be good against the Greenskins. Sadao, would you bring shooting against Greenskins as High Elf? I don't see you play High Elf very often, but I don't know, would you? I mean, it's hard for High Elves to hold the line with spears. I think, actually, I was surprised the High Elf player didn't go with the Alariel sub-faction, because then you get access to Dryads. Dryads are much more effective against Goblins. It would have given him a better answer to the Skulkers than to just throw White Lions in there. Alright, so we've seen the Reponse build before. Looks like Tanker's going to bring it against Vampire Counts this time. So challenging him in the air will be a Strigoi Vampire Lord, AP, anti-large, and there's also a Terrorgeist here, which is like basically a glorified bat. We got into an argument about whether a Terrorgeist counted as a zombie dragon. Oh, this is also a Terrorgeist. It looks like it's not a zombie dragon. So we'll see how it does. In terms of melee attack, this one's got 37, which is pretty poverty, and this one's only 26. So if you want to get value out of your Terrorgeist, you kind of have to pop Van Howes on them. Knights of the Realm, going to charge some Blood Knights over here, getting some decent damage. Over here, we've got nice Errant, going to get a charge on some zombies. Black Knights, I don't know if they're counter-charging. Kind of mucky, I don't know. Vargas are over here taking some damage, starting to lose a unit model here and there from the big boys. But that means this flank is like basically at the mercy of the Strigoi and the Terrorgeist, which are not doing a whole lot, to be perfectly honest. They whiffed on a breath attack on the Knights of the Realm. This other unit of Knights of the Realm is going to kite them to infinity and beyond. And so, let's see. Black Knights over here are going to take a little bit of damage from the Lord tag team. This flank is going to crumble really quickly. How about the Vampires? Are they winning their flank? Knights of the Realm, Blood Knights. I mean, there's a lot of resources over here. Two Terrorgeists and Blood Knights. You better win this flank if you're going to commit all that over here. How's the front line looking? Got zombies, Skelly Spears, Graveguard, standing still. These guys are not even fighting. Okay, there they go. It just turned on. Graveguard engaged. Peasant Mob, Spears, Zombies, Battle Pilgrims. So the Battle Pilgrims were able to line up with the Zombies and not fight the Graveguard. So I think the Vampire Counts player wasn't really paying attention there. And over here, Battle Pilgrims again. Are these the Battle Pilgrims? Yeah, Battle Pilgrims gonna mulch the Spears and Zombies. So the front line is a win for Bretonnians. That far flank, the Vargeists are still pretty healthy. So it looks like the Lords abandoned that chase. They gotta dive down here, and these Terrorgeists are in a really bad spot now. They have basically a full surround on them. I'm gonna expect an Alpha Strike in here, gonna take out the Strigoi. And a full surround with the Knights are going to make it difficult for the Terrorgeist to get out of here. Counter charge from the Blood Knights here, though. That is going to be a juicy rear charge into, I don't know, some horse asses. And Knights of the Realm are going to take off, but I mean, I think they should have just stuck it. If the Knights of the Realm broke, who cares? But the Lord was banging on the Strigoi Ghoul King. He probably could have finished him, to be honest. He was very close to crumbling. Now he's going to escape. I think he should have just stuck it. And this is trouble. Henri Le Massif is in here in a 2v1 scenario. Regrowth is going to be popped, probably. Where's the caster? So he is fighting in the safety of the caster. That's nice. And this is going to be savage. 2v1, you got Guardian prop. You got, these are just much better duelists than the Strigoi Ghoul King. I mean, there's no way around it. You're just going to win. I mean, the Terrorgeist does have regen, so he can kite fight a little bit. On the other hand, Henri is taking a lot of damage. He probably wants to reposition here, maybe swap places with the Lord. Do a little switch there. Let the Lord take some damage instead of having Henri frontline. But yeah, Strigoi Ghoul King's at his healing cap. I mean, that's a good trade. Even if Henri dies, if this guy dies, that's a win for Bretonnia. Bounce Force slightly in favor of Counts, though. Looks like the Vargeists have broken free. And we're able to do some damage over here. I mean, Peasant Mob broke, not too big of a deal. Spears and Knights of the Realm are going to tag the Vargeists. Blood Knights are dying, as they always do. Blood Knights have done jack shit, as they always do. Balance Force slightly in favor of Vampires. Did Henri die? He might have died. Maybe I lost track of it. Maybe I overrated Henri, but... Oh no, here he is. The Lifecaster is just trying to race over here, pop another heal on him. Henri is running back to the safety of his damsel. Help me out, lady. Give me that good juicy. But over here come the Vargeists. They're going to try and shut her down, probably. Is she going to be able to get that heal off? She does, I think. No. Full Seekers here. So he's going to dive in here. Emergency movers, drop the parachute, SOS. Where's the Lord? We got the Lord here, Henri Le Massif. These two can maybe turn around fight. I don't know, but now it's a fight in the infantry. Where's the Damsel? Damsel's getting wrecked here by the Vargheists, but she's going to kite into the safety of her Battle Pilgrims. Battle Pilgrims are going to do really well against Vargheists. Henri's done, though. The Terrorgheists were able to take him out. What a fight, man. Dead even. Love this. You got air battle. I mean, I gotta give credit to Vampire Player. He's microing these Terrorgheists much better than I originally gave him credit for. And they're putting up a good fight. They've been able to get some 2v1 situations against Henri. And Henri's taken a lot of damage, like kind of when the Lord wasn't there. The Lord's been stuck up fighting Vargheists. I mean, okay, in fairness, like the Vampires are better equipped to win the air fight because they have the 2 units of Vargheists plus the 2 Terrorgheists, right? The Bretonnians, they only have the 2 Hippos, so it's not really a fair fight in terms of like raw air power. I do think the Vargheists should have been used in tandem with the Terrorgheists. If they could have been used to screen, they could do the damage. The Terrorgheists could do the poison and the snare, and that would have been a lot more effective. Like if you have Strigoi plus Vargheist, and then Terrorgeist plus Vargheist versus Henri and versus the Lord, I think each of those like 1-2 punches is going to win. Bretonnians didn't bring any shooting, by the way. There's no fire arrows, nothing. So, I mean, Vampire could have taken their time to dominate the air fight, so long as, I guess, Bretonnia didn't dive into the ground. Valspar is for the first time creeping in favor of Bretonnia because the Vampires invested so heavily into the air that they just didn't have enough sustain on the front line. And also, you know, you saw those early on mistakes, which I think in the late grind came back to kind of bite the Vampire count player in the butt. Slash, the Battle Penguins are faster anyway, so even if the Graveguard were in the right spot, they could have just repositioned. So, yeah. Seaguard, yeah, but Seaguard don't trade well, man, with Greenskins. They don't. They'll lose first pretty much everything. I mean, 1 unit, okay, maybe, but... Well played to H. That was a close game. I don't know about the double Guerrero leak. Battle Pilgrims were great. I mean, I don't know. You held the line. You did win the frontline fight. I think Tanker would have been in a much easier spot if he had a unit of Pegasus Knights to screen his lords a little bit. They are also super fast. And if he wasn't going to bring that, or even if he did, probably some just good old-fashioned archers, man. Even if he drops the zombie summon on your archers, you still gotta fly over there and drop the zombie summon, baits out Winds of Magic. Your archers are only 400 gold. Fire damage is a big deal, and it gives your lord some support in the air if they're getting goons. So, I don't know. I mean, I think Bretonnia has really good tools to deal with vampire counts, honestly. So we're rocking through this list here. Where do we leave off here? Bretonnia versus Counts. Yeah, that was a great game. I really like that one. We got Norska versus Counts. So you guys have been sticking with me through this replay rampage. Thank you. It's been fun. Still more games to go. Got another 3 or 4. I'm gonna push it until they're all done. Up to 4 viewers now. Hello, whoever just joined. I hope you're doing good. We've got some Pharaoh Mammoths in the front. Pharaoh Mammoths are MVP units for Norska. It takes a lot to bring them down. I know they only have 30 armor, but their HP pool is huge, and they don't cost that much for what they do. Is this against the same guy? We're seeing the Strigoi and the Terrorgeist. I wonder why he's opted to go with the Strigoi and not like a zombie dragon or something. I mean, does he? I didn't see the summons go down last game, by the way. Like, the Strigoi can summon Crypt Horrors and or ghouls. I did not see those last game. So, I mean, in my mind, that's the whole reason why you bring the Strigoi. He also has, I think he does have Spirit Leech. Let's take a quick look at that. No, Soul Blight. I mean, Soul Blight's alright. I don't know, man. Damage resist, heal, Soul Blight, regen. I don't know. He's kind of a weird pick. You don't see it often, but last game was really close. Does he have a bit more in his front line? Well, he's got some Crypt Horrors. Did he cut the Blood Knights? I hope. Yeah, he did. So maybe it's going to be a closer fight. Black Knights, no Blood Knights. He's going really, really wide. This is a cool map too. I really like this map. Counts do struggle with large. Let's see if they're able to deal with these Feral Mammoths. The Crypt Horrors are going to have their work cut out for them. It's a lot for them to deal with. They kind of need some support heals to be able to like withstand the Feral Mammoth. If a Feral Mammoth just goes and fights the Crypt Horrors just straight up, it's going to be painful. Crypt Horrors are idle here. They need to get that charge in. That charge bonus is a big deal. Meanwhile, these Graveguard are getting wrecked by those Mammoths. On the flanks, I got the Strigoi getting screened out by just spears. Black Knights, same thing. Marauders, great weapons, going after the Skelly Spearmen and shooting in the back line. So this is a really nice position for Norska. I know they're shooting into the woods, so a lot of those shots are probably just hitting trees. But the front line is going like a dream for Norska. These Mammoths are just plowing the Crypt Horrors, losing decisively. They really need leadership support in here. Like, it's no secret, Vampire Counts struggle from low leadership. So if you have a whole front line here, everything's sitting at around 12 leadership, you don't bring a corpse cart, and you don't bring a hero, I mean, what do you expect is going to happen to these things? They're just going to die immediately, right? You need corpse cart and or heroes to give these guys, like, you know, the 15 to 20 leadership that's going to cause them to fight long enough for healing and regen and attrition to kind of be a factor. But just a straight up grind, like, they're going to just die. Even Marauders are going to kill them. So the Mammoth has been pulled into the back line, I guess, to deal with some of these special units like the Vargeist, the Black Knights. I think he's trying to protect the Javelins, but that's going to allow the Crypt Horrors to heal up. So I don't know about that decision, honestly. I might have just let the Javelins die or just sent the Spears and just like focused on killing these Crypt Horrors. I think taking the Crypt Horrors out is really, really important. Strigoi has come back here to help out his boys. We've got the Terrorgeist plus Strigoi and the Crypt Horrors. They're going to kill one of those Ferals, so that's a big loss here. And you kind of lost some time and an opportunity to take that Crypt Horror off the map. Over here on the flank, I mean, things have been shored up a little bit. Marauder Great Weapons are going to kill those Spears, and these guys are going to get into position to start shooting. They will be able to shoot the Crypt Horrors. I guess that's another way of killing them. Yeah, this would be a really nice line for a boat. Do we have a Wolfric sighting? I don't think so. That's not really Tanker's style. He's more of a Marauder Chieftain on foot kind of guy, and that's what he has here. And Marauder Chieftain on foot is going to get savagely killed yet again, as he often does. But because Tanker invests so little in him, in many cases it doesn't matter. Against Vampire Counts, it might matter because fear is still an issue. But the front line's going like really, really well for Norska. And this is kind of what I was saying. Like as soon as the Crypt Horrors are down, there's no leadership to support. I mean, that's going to all crumble. And again, I haven't seen the Crypt Horrors get summoned or Crypt Ghouls. Like, I haven't seen either get summoned from the Strigoi Vamplord. Like, I don't know what maybe he's using his Winds of Magic on other things. I mean, I don't think it is a bounce spell. I could be wrong about that. Probably should be a bounce spell. If that's his whole shtick. If this is his one shenanigan. Wait. Where is his summon? He didn't bring the summon. He did not bring the Crypt Horror summon, so that explains why I haven't seen it. / Crypt Ghoul summon. I mean, why not bring it, man? Summons are very, very strong in this game. And the Marauder Chieftain rally, that's hilarious. So now it's literally the 2 flying units and nothing else. And this is how he lost the battle as against Bretonnia. It was the same thing. The front line just died, and then these guys got full surrounded. And that's exactly what's going to happen again here. So I know Balance Bar is even, but I can tell that it's already over. So I'm going to just fast forward. We're going to watch this guy just make his final stand here. And hello, Dumbo, and what are famous elephants? I only know of Dumbo. Didn't they I think they made it into a movie, and it did really badly. Well, they're still going strong here. But yeah, no. You can only cycle charge for so long. And as long as the Marauder Chieftain stays next to the Ferals, they're going to be good. I mean, how did that Feral rally, dude? They broke one of them off, and they let this one come back. Yeesh. Double Feral Mammoth is really strong. I have a lot more respect for Norska now. I used to think Norska was underpowered. I don't think that's true. I think, I mean, the risk of Norska is if they have Spirit Leech, they can fly over and Spirit Leech your Lord, and then they don't have to dive down there and fight him. That could have been a lot more effective. Uh, Ferals are very hard for Vamps to bring down. You need the Cryptors to do that. Banshees can do pretty well against that as well. Because Banshees cause terror, they're not going to tear... Well, I mean, nothing on the undead roster is going to tear out because it's all undead, but... Banshees, I don't know, they do weird things against large. I don't really understand it, but I don't know if it's the attack animation or something, but they can kill large very effectively. Alright, so we did Norska Vampire Counts. Well played to H, by the way. He played some good games against Tanker. He's not an easy opponent. Alright, now we got King Nifty versus Tanker. Tanker's like showcasing a pretty wide range of playstyles, but mostly Horde factions. Like, what you're going to see out of Tanker, like if he's going to his strengths, you're going to see Greenskins, you're going to see Beastmen, you're going to see Norska, and you're going to see Bretonnia, which are like kind of the four most well-known Horde factions in the game, outside of maybe Skaven and Vampire Coast, but the playstyle of those factions is very different than the other ones I've mentioned, which are capable of delivering the hammer if needed. So what do we have here? Skaven Artillery up on the hill. It's pretty safe in this map because you can't really get rear charged here. Your deployment zone is right on the edge of the map, so like it's almost impossible for the opponent to like shoot you from behind or get on those rear charges unless you're really not paying attention, which it happens. But on the other hand, you don't have the best line of sight for shooting. Like there's a big hill here, which can obstruct a lot of shots. You've got trees on this side blocking your shots. You've got a little house over here. So like if you have a line of sight thing, when's it going to hit you? It's going to hit you like maybe here and here as you're crossing. Not going to do a whole lot. Trolls are going to take some... Yeah, see what I'm saying? The Warp Lightning Cannon's trying to shoot the trolls, but the trolls are just going on the back side of the hill. There's no line of sight. These guys. Fucking hilarious. Yeah. What's going on, troll guy? I think they're doing something very important. I don't know what it is. Yes, I do. It's called depleting the ammunition of a Warp Lightning Cannon. It's already fired about 10% of its shots on trolls on the other side of the hill, which has no chance of hitting. So question mark, question mark, question mark. Plague Monk's pushing through the woods. They're going to try and come up here and do some things, but they're going so far away from their artillery crews that their artillery crews are probably going to get wrecked. I'm going to fast forward here. You've got Force Goblin Spider Rider, dodgy shots. Skin's going to move up right into the middle of the map with the artillery, which is interesting. It's a bold play. It does expose them to this rear charge now from the skirmishers potentially. They're going to change their mind and go back to the edge of the map. So Tanker's going to reposition here. Just very patient. What's up with the Plague Monks? What are they doing? They ran backwards. I guess maybe they got some intel and they've gone back to HQ to report it. We've got Spears engaging here. Locking up some Storm Vermin Halberds, Rat Ogres, Spears. Good spot for the Spears, even though the Rat Ogres would win. Wog is going to mean that Spears still trade effectively. Granted, Goblins don't get the anti-large bonus, but just sheer weight of numbers, they're going to do very well. Troll's going to countercharge. Wog pops across the board, going to do a lot of damage on those Rat Ogres, which are not buffed by their own troops. Over here, Plague Monks are going to, they're going to trade savagely with the Savage Orcs. They're going to beat the Savage Orcs, but they're balled up like hell. If there was a foot of Gork right now, this would be the time to drop it. Rear charges coming from the Force Goblin Spider Riders. Going to do some good damage here. They're going to put the poison debuff into those guys. Over here, Rat Ogres have been killed, as was expected, and the artillery is about to be taken out by the Skulkers, and Night Goblins Fanatics are pushing up here. Going to also probably take some stuff offline. Rat Ogres are down, and now it's just an infantry blob over here. Plague Priest is up and active, and we've got Creek Headtaker taking the heads of Goblin Spears. So if he was a man on a mission, his mission is... Actually, it doesn't make sense because he's a rat. I'm going to fast forward this one because I don't think it's the strongest of Skaven players, and I think Tanker's going to make pretty short work of this. But you know, I'm showcasing all the games that I received. I'm not filtering them because there's always stuff to learn. Clearly, you don't want to ball up like that. Secondarily, you don't want to shoot your ammo into nothing. And yeah, I mean, nice try to the Skaven player. I'm going to swap on to the next match. GG. Congrats to Tanker on the win. King Nifty. Yeah, your build was balanced. You'll get there. You'll get there. Last game, Tomb King versus Greenskins. Aion. This can be a tough matchup for Greenskins. Honestly, Tomb King has really strong chariots. Greenskins have pretty weak cavalry overall, and cavalry that's vulnerable to terror routes. There's the fear and terror aspect, which can cause Greenskins a lot of problems. They're not going to just crumble. Well, they will crumble eventually, but they're not going to rout. So they will stand and fight to the last versus the Greenskin Wog, which means that they can sort of soak some damage, and they also get that Realm of Souls proc once they get to the third level, so they can heal too, which means that, you know, unless the Greenskins can win quickly, there is the chance that the Tomb Kings could just out-sustain them. So what do we have in terms of unit formation? Very unorthodox, maybe. You got Bone Giant here, Spears leading, Tomb Guard, Tomb Guard, Tomb Guard. I guess the Spears are going to try and interrupt, and the Tomb Guard are going to try and push through the Spears. A little bit of a box over here. We've got Spears on the flanks both sides. Centrally perishable, anchoring the midline position. Going to look for some interrupts. Got pretty much a full kit. You got AP, anti-infantry, it's got that blind ability, Casket of Souls firing in here. This is reminiscent of Sadao, but a little different. He's a little bit wider, and he doesn't have the Bone Giant next to the Casket. We'll see how it goes. What's the Casket shooting at right now? Haven't really seen yet. Anything good to shoot at? Orc Airboys, Goblin Archers, Goblin Archers. I do like the Goblin Archers here. Ragnarok, kind of a brave pick against Tomb King, I'm not going to lie here. I mean, it could be okay for dealing with chariots if you can get a hands on them, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Bone Giants can... That's kind of a prime target for a Bone Giant, to be honest. But there's only one Bone Giant in this case. Casket of Souls is shooting. I think he's shooting at Goblin Archers. I think it's breaking them. They're only 300 gold, though. Charge from Moonhowler is going to go in here. Moonhowlers are going to get absolutely mulched. It might lock up the Casket for a little bit. I don't know if it's worth it. It is still an ROR, 450 gold. And how long did it disrupt the Casket for? Like 2 seconds? But it did bait out Cetra. Cetra probably should not have committed to that. Cetra had a job to do. Cetra's job was interrupting the Spheres and the Archers, and it didn't really need to deal with the Moonhowlers. Let's open up some opportunities in the midline, perhaps. Casket of Souls shooting again. Arachnok's over here. I don't know what the Arachnok's doing. It's running away. I guess it doesn't want to get hit by Cetra, but this flank is looking good. Looking real good for the Greenskins. You got Spears over here. Plus around Tomb Guard. Losing decisively. We'll see how long that lasts for. I think it's just because of the Wog. Once the Wog drops, they might not be losing decisively after all. Skarsnik, Goblin Big Boss. And the Arachnox going to work. Yep. Cetra, you're gonna have a hard time tagging this stuff. Balance Bar is in favor of Tomb King right now, but we'll see. Bone Giant's still firing. No magic on the Greenskin roster here. Like a Brain Buster could be really nice here. If you brought one caster, you could have hit 3 units here. And that would have freed up so much real estate for the Arachnok. Brain Buster is really cheap too, man. I would encourage at least one caster. You do have 2 Goblin Big Bosses, Skarsnik, and 2 Arachnok Queens. So your duelist ability is very, very strong. But do you have enough to kill the infantry? It's got Tomb Guard, Tomb Guard, Tomb Guard. I don't know how everyone is losing here. It doesn't even make sense. I guess Tomb Guard's losing to the Arachnok. The Squig Hoppers is losing to the Spears and the Tomb Guard. It's pretty wild. Bone Giant's getting tagged by Skarsnik though. These Tomb Guard have got to go and wrap up Skarsnik. They can't let the Bone Giant just get free hits from Skarsnik. Skarsnik does a lot of damage against large, and that's going to start to pull the balance bar in favor of Greenskins. Over here we have the Goblin Big Boss trying to do work on Cetra. One fart from the kitty cat with digestive issues is going to blow away 3 units, but the Arachnok's going to come over here and start smashing. Smashing and bashing. Ushapti summon. I think that's the summon. No, maybe it's the regular Ushapti. Is going to go off. I haven't seen what's happened to the Casket of Souls. I'm guessing the Goblin Big Boss killed it. I'm not really sure. I apologize for missing that. Yeah, dividing his units up maybe it wasn't the way to go here. But that's a lot of large, honestly. I mean, 2 Arachnox, it's a lot to deal with. Plus Skarsnik, very strong anti-large tools. Look at this Bone Giant getting wrecked here. The Arachnox not really taking a lot of damage. Spears are going to interrupt and get a little bit of real estate for the Bone Giant, but at the end of the day, Bone Giant's still getting hits from Skarsnik here. Skarsnik has really good melee defense too, 55. Melee attack of 30 from the Bone Giant. That means most of the Bone Giant's hits are just not going to land. Tomb Guard are getting pushed out into Goblin Archers, but like the Goblin Archers can kite them for days. 33 speed, 28 speed, so that's a waste of time. All they need to do is just surround the Bone Giant, probably. Ooh, Setcha's doing work though. He's done a lot of damage on this Bone Giant. This pocket's secured, so Tomb King did win this flank. But we got 2 units of archers. One of them's the Savage Orc Arrow Boys, the other's regular Goblin Archers. Still in line of firing. We'll see what they shoot at. Are they going to shoot at the Bone Giant and try and get its damage off the field? Are they going to shoot at Setcha and go for the leadership? I think the correct choice is the Bone Giant, but look, Nero's Incantation of Protection has been dropped, which means the physical resist is going up, which means those archer shots are going to do a lot less than they could otherwise be doing. So if you do see the Neros get popped, maybe you want to switch targets and shoot in on Setcha. Setcha does have pretty good physical resist and 95 armor. Bone Giant's sitting at about 80 armor. Looks like he probably also has some sort of missile resist. But yeah, Arachnox going in here, smashing on the Bone Giant. Bone Giant he's going to drop. Man, I can't believe how long he's lasted though. In all honesty, he's been taking hits from Skarsnik for a really long time. Ushapti are there though. They're buffering just a little bit. If you look in here, they are protecting the Bone Giant from a few screens. Maybe the Bone Giant could just run away, and that might stop him from crumbling to dust. But yeah, right now I don't even think he's getting hit by the Arachnox or anything else, but he's crumbling. On the other hand, the aggregate damage on these Arachnox is adding up, and this one's close to breaking. And if this one breaks, it's going to be tough for the Greenskins. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. This infantry pocket's really healthy right now. If Tomb Kings just pulls some resources back here, the Greenskins are definitely going to have to abandon that. Like, he's got to stop worrying about the Savage Orcs. He's got to send, like, the 2 units here, just stand in front of the Orcs, let them soak the shots. Everything else, pull it back to the Arachnox. Bounce Bar is now in favor of the Tomb Kings, but the Ushapti are going to crumble. Once the Ushapti crumble, Bounce Bar is going to probably come closer to even. But I do think this is the Tomb King's game if they play it disciplined. If Setcha sits in that infantry blob and just pushes, should be okay. But the poison from the Arachnox Queen is coming into effect here. Setcha's having a hard time getting away. Nero's gets popped. Speed of Setcha is dropping to 51. Arachnox Queen 57 speed. Here comes the Ushapti. This is trouble for the Arachnox though. Meanwhile, shots though, like where's Setcha gonna go? Setcha's gotta like find a safe spot. It's not really here. It's not really with the Arachnox. I think Setcha can just go dive back here. Like she's gotta go bring 1 unit of infantry to screen this unit of Goblin Archers, and then go dive the other unit with Setcha. And let the infantry like screen Skarsnik. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. The Arachnox has rallied. Greenskins have pulled the balance of power back in their favor. Don't forget the Arachnox do have the ability to shoot. And look at their ammo. It's really, really high. Like they could continue to kite and shoot, and that damage would over time like sort of have a Mortis Engine effect and probably chip down the Tomb Kings. We'll see. The Wog is going to get popped. That's going to give a little bit extra speed to the Arachnox, which means that maybe they're going to be able to catch Setcha. Setcha's got to be really careful here. So like I said, I think 1 unit has got to be used to chase the infantry, the 1 unit of Goblin Archers. The other unit's got to go after the other Goblin Archers. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is just crazy fight. Super close. Thanks for sending me this replay, Tanker. This is a blast. Okay, so we've got shots going into Setcha. Setcha's going to make 1 brave kitty cat charge here, maybe. The Blade of Patra is going to drop. Curse of the Bad Moon. Miss a parry. I don't think it's going to do much. Charge defense, I mean, I don't know if that matters because it's a large unit. I think charge defense only affects small units. But Arachnarok getting chipped down here. What a fight. The Blessed Blade of Patrol, 24 melee attack, reduced accuracy. He was able to win it with the Blessed Blade. With the blades and the Patrol. Oh my god. Skarsnik is just broken. Setra's going to get in there and try and finish him off and take him off the field, but shots are still... No, ammunition's out. Setra's going in here. Is Setra crumbling? Almost. The Arachnarok's trying to force path his way through, but I think Setra is going to be able to finish Skarsnik. Skarsnik goes down. I think that's GG. We'll see. Arachnarok's fully wrapped up. I think Tanker's not going to come out on top on this one. Down goes Skarsnik. Arachnarok getting chased. Ooh, a lot of stuff is crumbling, though. Is it crumbling? It was wavering. If the Arachnarok could just stay close, he might be able to waver. As it flees, I'm curious to see if he will continue to shoot. Does not look like it. These goblins have decided not to shoot. It's not... I think it is a... Is it a firewall moving thing? I don't really know how that works. Missile damage. 1950 AP. I don't know. This guy's going to rally, though. Let's see. These 2 units are crumbling. 3 units are crumbling because Setra just crumbled for a mysterious reason. What the hell? What happened to Skarsnik? Did Skarsnik just rally and kill Setra? Wow, what a turn of events. Now everything's crumbling without the leadership of Setra. Yeah, I guess Setra just, like, crumbled out. Setra must have just... Maybe just being close to Skarsnik caused Skarsnik to degen. And all the infantry was just crumbling. Wow, what a close fight. Super good game. I thought Tanker was going to lose that once Skarsnik was fleeing. I mean, I didn't see him being able to just, like, cause Setra to crumble out there. But I guess that's what happened. So, never give up. So, I'm out of replays here unless people dropped a few more in the Dark Dynasty chat. Let me just check really quickly. Nope, that's it for this week. So, if you enjoyed this, if you like watching the replays, if you want me to comment on your replays, feel free to, join our Discord. Drop the replays in the replays channel, and I'll try and get to them. I'm on pace for kind of once a week, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care, and we'll catch you around. Bye.